I was coming down the street and I was going to make a right, but there was a truck, so I had to back up, and I had to go up the other street instead. And they wanted me to be here at a certain time, but then they told me that were you watching something? It doesn't matter. I'll just talk a little louder, make sure you can hear me. I see that you're listening to something. Oh, sorry, I was just doing my impression of my Uber driver.
I'll just talk a little louder. With mundane details, everything out loud, huh?
He took a long time to get there. He had a rational explanation. I guess sometimes you go down the street and there's a truck, so all right, whatever. I had to wait a few minutes, but it is what it is.
That's fine.
But then he was very chatty. And I just wanted to watch a Gilda Radner clip. I was thinking of Gilda Radner this morning for some reason, SNL. And I wanted to watch a Gilda clip.
Did you have your AirPods in?
I did. Yeah. Yep. Big white things.
Dripping like something about Mary, dripping off your ears.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Two big globs hanging out of my ears, indicating that my mind is preoccupied.
That's right. AirPods in, conversation is off.
But that's the beauty of people who miss social cues. I thought of that when I almost said to him, "Can you stop?" Sir, I don't. But he was a nice guy.
Isn't it weird?
But he was an ass.
When you're having a conversation with somebody and you're doing everything in your power to not be just a complete shithead and tell them to leave, but to give every single thing, you're not making eye contact anymore. You're saying as they're talking.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. It feels like you're rushing them through what they're saying.
Or when you do this. But yes, when you push your phone, meaning you're pausing something.
Right.
They know they're interrupting you. You're pausing something to answer them.
Dude, or you sit there and you're like, you start scrolling. You're like, oh, yeah. And you're like looking at your phone as they're talking, and they just keep going.
Keep going.
It's almost scary. The level of the lack of awareness.
Yep.
That people have.
There really is. I mean, maybe I'm just noticing because mental illness can be smaller. Like, that's not a dangerous form. It's just irritating.
Right.
But is it because are we just all so caught up in our computer screens that we're forgetting as a group how do we not pick up on cues anymore? Like, are we just missing social cues because we're all staring at a fucking screen or at a monitor? I don't know what it is, but it's like little things. I've never noticed that stuff before, and maybe it existed. I just didn't notice it. But it makes me nuts.
I notice it now. Maybe you didn't notice it before. Maybe you were doing it. Maybe you weren't aware before.
No, I was never babbling like that. I mean, I've
never known you to babble like
no, never. I mean, we all have our moments, but I would always look at people's hands like, oh, sorry, am I boring you? Like, I would always know if I was fucking yapping.
If anything, I get oversensitive to it. Like if I start talking and my wife is doing something else, I just stop talking.
Literally, people want a bell like this in life. That's what guys like this want to do. And when you're not looking at them, they want to do that.
Yeah.
To me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You keep talking.
But
pay attention. Yeah,
Penn Jillette had a good story.
Penn and Teller. They're a famous magic team in Las Vegas, Nevada.
That's an over-explanation.
No. But I like to be a radio guy. Really explain everything.
Does it make you feel good?
Yeah.
Make you feel like a real broadcaster?
A real broadcaster explains everything.
But he told a story once when I was interviewing him of a guy who is at a Guns N' Roses concert or something, and he's all the way in the back of the auditorium, and he pushes through the crowd, and he gets all the way up to the front. And then he pushes through security, and he skips over the guardrail, and he runs up to the stage, and then he jumps on the stage, and he's fought all this way to get on the stage, and he grabs the microphone, and Axl's looking at him, and he just goes, yeah! And you're going, you did all that work?
Yeah.
And the only thing in your head to say is, yeah! You just... But you want to be heard.
You want to be, a guy like that wants to have a moment with Axl where Axl has to acknowledge him by looking at him. Like, this is me and Axl having a nanosecond together.
But there's no...
he's looking at me.
Right. Never thought of quality of the moment.
No, not at all. Just the moment.
Right. Just the moment itself. Once I get up there, it'll all make sense.
I always wondered what that was like, because I've been to a lot of concerts, and what Ozzy would get that a lot. Somebody would run on stage, and they just jump there, and then sometimes security is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess they got to protect the guy on stage, but I mean, I never understood the motives for, when you do that, I guess that you want that moment, but you don't do anything. They just jump up and down and
And then it just
you throw out of the show.
right, and everything continues as normal.
You don't get sent back to your seat.
No, and you don't. It's not like you change history. It's not like people go home and go, "Oh, you should have bet at this show. Some guy jumped on stage." It's
You jump up and down. It's great.
yeah, it's anecdotal at best, and then people move on to watch the rest of the show.
Yeah, just watch awkwardly from the side.
You talking about Jim? Jim did get to watch an Ozzy concert from the stage, and he just stood at the side of the stage the whole time.
I did. I was so happy. I was standing on this. I was in
Very
Brooklyn.
close.
Security's just looking at him like, should we?
They
should
actually
we
had to
get
ask
that
me
guy
to
off?
move. They had to ask me to move because that was where Zach went up on stage. I didn't know Zach was coming around the front, and I'm fucking standing there, and the spotlight is on Zach and me.
That is one of my favorite things.
Because you've heard of like, VIP guests standing off stage,
Sure.
or
Sure, yeah, or
like
like-
right behind the curtain
Yeah.
on the side of the stage where nobody could see. But the fact that you were actually on stage,
Close enough to be in the spotlight.
that everybody watching was like, "Oh, there's the band," and who's that guy just watching the concert on stage?
But I was way off to the side. Like you have the stage, and then you have far left and far right, and there's stairs that go up. Security always blocks them. But between me and Ozzy, like I wasn't like right next to. It was a guy, a photographer, so I was off way close to the wall. But Zach came out close to the wall to be closer to the audience. I didn't know he was going to do that.
The problem is, had Jim gone back any further, he wouldn't have been visible to the audience, and you can't have that.
I can't.
No.
No, there was really no room. They're like, you have to move because Zach is coming. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why
I
people.
felt really like an asshole.
He must have looked like an incredible asshole.
A fool. That was a lot. It was about a year ago, September.
I mean, for a moment, you had the greatest view that anybody could have at that concert,
Yeah.
but everybody else's view, watching you have that view, is probably who's the horse's ass that's on stage.
Yeah, what does this fucking fool want?
He's just standing there. He's not even like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones guy who wore a tuxedo and skanked for everybody. He's not dancing. He's not doing anything. He's
I was
just
Not
standing
contributing
there.
at all.
No.
Not contributing at all.
No. I was just kind of standing there and watching.
Yeah, he's just taking up space for his own enjoyment.
I didn't realize I was in the spot. I
bet a lot of people thought that was cool. They're like, "Oh shit, that's Jim Norton."
I could count 3 in this room.
Anybody that would have thought it was cool to see Jim Norton would have very quickly been like, it's a little pathetic. That's Jim Norton. He's just
That's his
standing there.
hero,
They
though.
probably think that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would think.
I mean,
so.
who wouldn't want to watch Ozzy from close?
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you're gonna watch Ozzy, the closer the better. That's the rule of thumb.
Not on stage where everybody else can see you.
But I didn't know they were gonna be. I mean, normally the spotlight wouldn't be there. It wasn't like I was in a place where the spotlight normally is. I was way over to the side. There's always people on the side, like on the outskirts, in the in the margins.
But not in the spotlight area.
Well, yeah. Again, when the guy comes over,
You didn't know, did you?
no one told me. I don't know what Zach's plans are.
Did you feel silly when they were like, you got to move. This is
Because Zach comes over. I was a little annoyed. I'm like, what do you mean? And then I saw it. I was like, oh,
Oh, this is still show area.
yeah, I'm in the
not
show area.
I'm not in the outskirts.
Yeah, I'm just standing here in the way.
That's awesome.
I was in the way.
I sometimes at events and stuff like that think about like what would happen right now if I did just disrupt everything like
Yeah.
that. Like you could.
Because the guy would know you. Like, what?
Why'd you
are
do
doing?
that? And I go, it would just change my life forever.
Yeah.
Like I thought about that like when I was at the pay-per-view on Sunday and they were shooting like a live vignette in a locker room that I was in, but obviously off camera. I was like, what if I just walked on camera right now and just started doing stuff? Like in that moment, it would be like, whoa, that was weird. But very quickly after that, the show would move on.
and you probably get fired.
I would definitely get fired. They'd be like, he's a crazy person. Why would he do that?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
How about if you ran through with your arms up, you're like, woo, wrestling.
Like it would make a good YouTube montage later, but I would have no impact on it. It would have no impact on history whatsoever.
No, not really.
No, it'd be a waste of everyone's
But
time.
it would have a huge impact on your life.
on my life. Yeah. They'd be like, oh, you had that sweet gig, and then you just walked in front of a live shot and said, woo, wrestling.
Yeah, and then kept walking.
Kept walking.
You got to do something legendary then. You got to like go with your pants down and spread open so you can see your butthole on camera.
Yeah, but that would
I mean,
change your
that's
life
so
where you'd go to
stupid.
jail. Like,
Yeah.
you'd
But you'd be a legend.
No, people would be like, that was so dumb when
You're
you
like,
did it.
oh shit! Did you see what Sam Roberts did?
And then Sirius would be like, Sam, like,
Oh, they'd fire you.
yeah, we can't have you host a show here. You're the WWE butthole guy.
The guy put his
It's-
asshole in camera for no reason.
For no reason. It's so stupid.
And then the other angle, kids were watching.
yeah.
It was live.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My children didn't have a warning. There would be an anus on television.
They say that anyway when they see you.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I don't know if anybody. I would show my asshole and people would go, "Oh, there's Sam." They wouldn't tell the difference.
I've thought many times that what would happen if I did this? What would the effect be?
Yeah.
How would I be feeling right now if I had done that 30 seconds ago?
Right.
Like if I think of it and then the moment passes, what would happen if I had done it? And it's like a lot of times it would ruin your life completely. A lot of times it would just ruin that one part of your life that you're enjoying a lot.
Right. It's you always encounter those things where if this 1 second, if I made a completely dumb decision in this 1 second, my whole life would be different going forward.
Yeah.
And everybody would go, why would you do that?
Why?
Why'd you do that? I don't think I want to hang out anymore. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like your friends, I guess, would still be your friends, but there would always be that thing where they'd be like, yeah, but you showed your butthole on TV or you did whatever it is. That's so stupid.
It
that
would
you
always
did
be
that.
your thing. It would always be, and the size of the moment would pass, and then it would just be this. What the fuck? This idiot did this thing.
Right,
This
it-
embarrassing thing.
It would stop being a big deal to everybody except it would be the biggest thing in your life still.
Like soy. What was the guy's name?
Soy Bomb.
Soy bomb. Right. Like he wrote it on his chest, and he runs out. Do you know anyone know who he really is? I'm sure somebody knows.
I never even bothered to look it up. But if I saw him, I'd be like, oh, Soy Bomb. He'd be like, oh, I have this other project. I'm like, Soy Bomb?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to jump on stage with Bob Dylan again? And
Oh,
that was-
there's a name. Okay, his name is Michael Portnoy.
That was
Oh, he's a
98.
performance artist. Okay, it was 20 years ago. Such a weird thing
Yeah.
to do. I mean, that's not quite as. That was more remembered like. That
It's
wasn't.
odd.
That was odd. That wasn't like life ruining because again, he didn't have anything profane and dick wasn't out.
And if he's a performance artist, I guess it could add to it.
What do performance artists do? Like, I understand there's something to it, but I don't know. Does a performance artist just disrupt things, or do they do weird pieces? I don't know what considers you a performance artist.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a disruption, but I guess it usually is. We knew some performance artists named the Hot Dog Muffins. You met the Hot Dog Muffins.
No, I don't think Jared did.
When I did that, you weren't there when I did the live show, when I was doing my solo show. It was a bunch of Asian girls that came in with hot dog muffin shirts on and tiny little red shorts.
You know what? Were they might have been in one time when we did something.
I think so.
Or
I think
I might have stopped in one time.
I think you met them once,
Yeah.
but they were,
Or a Yakame.
yeah, they were performance artists. And when Troy and I first met them, they had set up a hot dog cart in the middle of the city, in the Lower East Side, right?
Mhm.
And it was like all like had like Christmas lights and everything all over it, and they were just in these like hot little outfits, and they put out like a red blanket and had all these tchotchkes everywhere, and then they would just pose with visors on, and they just sit there in these poses, and we were like, "What are you doing?" And they were like, "We're the Hot Dog Muffins," and he said, "Yeah, but what are you doing?"
Cheyenne hot dog muffins.
and then you know, I guess they were trying to do this performance art, but then this homeless guy just kept walking up to him and jerking off. So,
Oh right, yeah, I remember.
you know, like it's just a homeless guy that kept putting his hand down his pants and jerking his dick.
Yeah, it's hard to get mad at the guy. I mean, they're
Yeah, then you
basically in
go-
his house.
Yeah.
4 girls just walked into his house.
Bunch of hot chicks posing in your house. What are you gonna do, right?
You know, it is weird. Like something like that. Like they're not ruining anything. They're not being
No,
fucked up.
but you can't explain why.
They're just doing it.
Like, why are you doing that?
What's their goal? Like, is there a show you do after this? What is the point of it?
And then I go like, well, what does this mean? And then a Yakame, every time she go like, well, hot dog, and then she grab her breasts and go, and muffins. I was like,
These Japanese
I was
artists
like,
like this, they can
okay.
do some weird shit like that.
Do you know what's funny? I really have been looking at a lot of Asian women lately. I've never dated an Asian girl.
okay.
Very beautiful.
Oh my God,
I
there's a
kinda-
lot of very beautiful Asian women.
Yeah, and there's always I've always a part of me that's like, fuck, I never dated. Like I've dated black girls, white girls, Latin. Like every
It just never came up.
just never happened. I mean, I don't know why. There's no reason, but I'm like, fuck. I've always wanted to date an Asian girl. Just to
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I dated a Chinese girl. right before Jess, actually. Yeah, I mean, it was. I guess it wasn't any
I'm
different.
sure
than
it's like
dating
literally like
anybody
any
else,
other relationship.
But it is
the novelty of dating someone new. You're like, all right, this is just my girlfriend.
exactly. But you've been with so many people. It's surprising that you've never been with an Asian woman.
I've hooked up or
But you
gone
just
out.
never dated.
Yeah, but I certainly would.
She was very polite. My Chinese girlfriend.
Was she?
She was very polite. My dad was disappointed when we broke up because she called him sir all the time. She's like, "Oh, hello, sir." But like, I'd
Did
be
you
like,
like that?
yeah, he thought it was very respectful, but I thought it was like, what do you? She was from the Carolinas too, so it might have just been a Southern thing. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was Asian or Southern.
And I don't look at like Asian women like submissive. Like there's that whole thing that they're submissive. Like I don't want that.
Like you don't fetishize.
No, I just very beautiful.
Yeah.
No, the whole like she'll take good care of you. Like yeah, I don't need that.
No.
It's just that they're
That's where it gets
They're
creepy.
pretty.
Yeah.
just pretty.
They're pretty. Yeah. Yeah, they are.
I had a crush on it. There's a girl in high school who was Asian who I really thought I was going to do well with.
And?
Didn't work out.
No?
No.
Did you let her know your feelings?
I don't remember.
And it didn't work out.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But you were pretty sure this is going to happen.
I had a feeling that she might have liked me back.
And did she?
Not to my knowledge. She did not. She did not.
Oh, that's unfortunate. She never expressed those feelings to you?
No.
That's too bad.
No, she really didn't. It was unfortunate.
You know, and a great piece of performance art, Papa John, he's back in the news. He's back. Papa
Good for
John's
him.
back.
He should, this guy, they fucked him out of his company. They fucked that guy who I said he was sorry. He made a terrible mistake. He was trying to quote something. At least, as far as I know, it wasn't done angrily. It wasn't even a joke. He was literally having a conversation about the word in the workplace or something.
So,
And it was dumb.
I think the story of Papa John using the N-word was that he used it on a conference call, but I think that it was in the context of, here's something you're not supposed to say. And then he said it in the context of, don't say this. But he had also already before that been out kind of being politically leaning, which isn't a crime by any stretch of the imaginations, but most companies try to, shy away from showing any political bias whatsoever because they don't want to isolate any pizza fans. They don't want to, he was showing a little bit of right-wing bias, I believe, and they don't want any, hyper liberals getting offended by that and going like, well, that's the last time I have Papa John's pizza.
They fucked that guy out of his company. I know that there's corporate structures and there's a board, but none of those assholes would have been sitting there if it wasn't for him. I guess that's the disadvantage, I guess, of taking your company public, is that now you have other people to answer for, sure. But they're all in that room only because of him.
Yeah, well, he's
Or
the John.
He
was John Schnatter.
Was he just one of a bunch of guys that put it together, or was it really all him?
He was the Papa John. He created Papa John's.
They fucked him.
He's the original creator of the Schnatter's pie.
I love a good a piping hot Schnatters.
Yeah,
nice.
He created the Schnatters. It does seem like, there was something, you can always tell in a corporate environment when people get fired very quickly for something that you feel like we could at least have a conversation about, there's probably other things going on. Like, I think that the company did want him out for various reasons, and then they used his N-word debacle, because they were the ones that also publicized it, I think. So they used the N-word debacle as, as a way to push him out.
To get him out, yeah, that was the thing they took. Because again, that's what this culture is. It's punishing, it's punitive, it's completely unforgiving.
But that's not new either. I think that that's just the reason that they found, and they realized that because of the culture that we're in, people would go like, okay, I can agree with that. Because, Steve Jobs got pushed out of Apple by the guy who's the Pepsi CEO years and years and years before any of this was going on. There's always
But
been...
not for that.
No, there's always been these corporate...
Those things happen. Yeah.
Right. And so they just find a reason. And this is... Yeah, you're right. This is the reason they found, because it works now.
It works now, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just, it's completely... This whole myth, and I know we're talking about... It's two different things, but this whole myth that young people are soft. Like, I love this. These young millennials are too sensitive. They're the most vicious fucking generation in a long time. They have zero forgiveness in them. It's completely punitive. There's zero context. There's no room for mistake. They're not soft. They're fucking running old people over with a lawnmower.
Oh,
what the fuck
yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah, okay, boomer. Yeah, they're soft. They're
Yeah.
gonna destroy you.
That's a delusion, though. I mean, they're hypersensitive to certain things and offended easily. But as far as being soft and like,
No.
oh, we don't lie. The viciousness to that. So I can't wait until that comes out. The viciousness that's mixed in with that whole hypersensitivity.
They're people of action. They like specifically want jobs to be ended. They want lives to
Yes,
be ruined.
they want-
That's
yes.
when I say they're people of
Yeah.
action. They're not going and just saying like, well, I'm going to tweet about this just so more people know.
They're
They're
punishing.
directing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost like people want to stockpile virtue points.
Mhm.
So when it's their turn to be thrown in front of the train, the people will be like, oh, no, they're too good.
Right.
We can't push you in front of the train. You've said and done too many good things already. So it works like a cushion around you, but it doesn't.
Right. Yeah, there was this transition from like this culture of picking on the weak to the people who have so long been categorized as weak are now coming back and doing the same thing,
Yeah, realize they're the same as everybody.
but against the people that, picked the groups that picked on them
Yeah.
are now going like, okay, well, now you're going to feel this pain.
And it's basically machine gun fire into a crowd. It's not like they're fighting the individuals. They basically are walking up to a group with a machine gun and spraying it, and whoever gets hit, and too bad.
You talking about the boomers?
The people doing the firing, because they're not just
No, I
shooting
mean-
at boomers. They're shooting at each other. They're shooting at people who are on their side. It doesn't matter. Because it's
Right.
not just conservatives that are getting fucked in this culture. Liberals are getting fucking completely ruined too. It's not just one side.
Yeah, I mean, they shoot with shotguns, so they don't need to aim.
They don't give a fuck.
I
Hey,
just-
Chuck in North Carolina too. So, to keep it on Papa John's, because this I guess he says, "Hey Chuck."
Hey, yeah, I was going to tell you, man, that Papa John guy, he sponsors like a drag car, and he's got
My
one
favorite
himself.
type of car.
Yeah, he's the nicest fucking guy you would ever want to meet, man. He gives back to everybody, feeds everybody.
I don't know.
He's always ready to help everybody. He's just a good fucking dude. I hate he got fucked out like that. That's a bad deal.
I don't know if this is the voice
No.
that Papa John's wants coming to his defense.
Well, you need that because
No, he's a good guy, man.
No, I
he
know.
really
I
is just, he's down to earth.
yeah.
Y'all have a good Thanksgiving, man.
hey, take care, Chuck. Have a good holiday.
Down to earth is
See ya.
code
All right,
for
buddy, be
something,
good.
You know,
No, but he's
he's
probably
old school.
Yeah,
The same vocabulary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an old school dude.
he just likes a clean neighborhood. But yeah, he
all
got
the little
fucked.
hints.
He got fucked. If he was being
Um,
angry and he yelled at somebody or he was saying something vicious, all right. But again, he was dumb what he said. But that you shouldn't lose your company for that. People would still eat fucking Papa John's pizza.
Yeah, no.
And by the
there's-
way, all the people that hate political correctness, I get it. If you want to fight back, don't eat Papa John's. Like
there are people trying that.
that's how you do it.
They would have gotten him with something else. I would love to find
Maybe,
out.
yeah.
Like, I would love to get all the. I'm sure.
Do you think they wanted them out anyway?
Yeah. There's some real reason that they wanted him out that they don't want to say. But he is.
Wouldn't it be funny something crazy? Like they kept catching him in the warehouse taking diarrheas in the pizza dough. He kept doing something or putting like rat poison in the fucking pepperoni.
I told you to stop giving yourself pepperoni enemas. You can't do it. We need the pepperoni. You're giving yourself enemas with it.
Wiping blood boogers on the inside of the pizza box. What are you doing? Oh yeah, the politics. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
there was a couple things.
He's
that
in there
he-
licking peppers again. Stop licking the peppers.
You can't do it, John.
Yeah.
Accused of stalking and grope. No, 20 years ago. Stalking and grope. Did he really stalk and grope her, or was he just being a little too aggressive in his pursuit? And how did he grope her?
I mean,
It's
I don't know.
confidential settlement.
Yeah.
So these words are thrown around. It's like I always want to know details before.
I thought you wanted for your own like porn fanfics.
No, not him. The Little Caesars icon I've jerked off to because it goes pizza, pizza.
I like Domino's The Noid.
I don't know what the noid is.
Remember Avoid the Noid?
No.
He's like the 80s Domino's like claymation puppet monster.
I'm more of a nannerpuss guy.
And guess what? I like pancakes.
I remember Travis's nannerpuss dance.
Wasn't it good?
Oh yeah.
He looked like a nannerpuss, didn't he?
It was really bad.
That's offensive.
So, unfortunately, though, for Papa John, sometimes when these things come up, it does mentally fucks you up. You get angry.
Sure, yeah.
You start fighting. And he did an interview on the local news where he doesn't, I mean, a lot of people talking about it today.
The fact that his whole life has been ruined by this one dumb moment. Like, and again, he's got money, but like this whole identity he had, hanging out with football players, and he was a part of the whole thing, it's just gone.
Yeah, but when stuff like that happens, if we've learned anything from literally everybody it's ever happened to, you got to take a few minutes to just chill out and maybe avoid public statements until you're not angry anymore.
Okay.
Right? Like, because if you show up on TV and you look a little bloated and you look a little sweaty and you're mad about the pizza people, it gets to, regardless of whether what you're saying is true or not,
Right.
the court of public opinion is going to be like, look, this lost Nixon a presidency. You know what I mean?
He's not a good.
It's not a good look.
I mean, what he said. I haven't seen the clip. I read some of the transcript.
It makes it tough to believe what he's saying when he looks like he's been sitting at home in his underwear eating pizzas all day, like making tomato sauce face paint, like the guy from the Bjork suicide video.
I love that guy.
Looking back now, do you think that you were set up?
Oh, there's no question about it. And the public knows that. This is all a farce. Nothing sells like the truth. And the truth, sooner or later, all comes out.
For the first time, Schnatter is talking publicly about the firestorm.
Why are they calling him Schnatter?
And why are you saying what he's doing? We see him talking.
It's so
I hate the fucking news.
It's so weird that the news does that like it's radio.
They talk over the man answering the question to let you know that he's on screen talking. We see it.
Yeah. This is John Schnatter. First of all, it's clearly Schnatter. And second of all, we could see it. You wrote his name under his thing. It's a visual medium. You don't need to narrate.
What is he in a high school theater there? I should be shooting a special in that room.
Him to walk away from the company he built into one of the nation's largest pizza chains.
They made this all up. They fabricated it. And shame on them. They've hurt people that wake up every day and make this company great. I mean, it's a miserable place over there. I mean, they're losing all
Could
the
you
good
pause? Why is it?
Is it jump cutting like
Yeah,
that?
why do we have
Is
the
that
montage here instead of the full interview?
I think Rob mentioned to you in the office that he cut out all the interviewer.
Other
Oh, is that
questions.
what
Oh,
this
okay.
is?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's just him talking.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
that's fine. I thought it was the way they put it out.
Yeah, I thought this was the 30-second version.
No.
Okay, cool.
And the key to this business is good people.
Has anybody specifically told you that within the company?
What?
That they're miserable?
I've talked to every high-level executive.
You never want to be the fired guy who goes and is like, everybody's miserable over there. You don't know anymore.
And by the way, if people can't see this, it's the worst camera job. This is the worst shot thing I've ever seen.
It's incredibly bad.
There's a shot of the camera of the reporter asking him the question. Could you go back just a little bit? The camera is pointed directly into the light. I don't know if that's supposed to be for effect. WDRB News is over the guy's head. You can't see Schnatter's face. If this is their idea of a good, clean shot, like, hey, this is kind of artsy, there's people in the fucking background.
You see everybody in the background.
What an abominable.
Yeah, you see the fold-out chair he's sitting on?
What an abominable shot this is.
Not a good shot.
And then
What a
Schnatter
terrible.
deserves better.
This is horrible.
when they go to single shot of him, he's all sweaty and bloated and
And
poorly
it's grease.
lit and greasy, and yeah, it's bad.
This is awful.
It's really, really bad. But it's so, like, you always hear guys that like get fired from their companies or leave or whatever it is. Like, it's not a good exit.
Uh-huh.
And then like months later, they're going around and saying, everybody's miserable over there. And it's just not a good, you don't know.
Right. Sometimes people are happier when you're gone.
Yeah. Like he's not talking to anybody. No, he doesn't know what's going on.
No.
People aren't miserable.
No. They're probably, and again, I don't know him, but they might be happier he's gone.
It could be. Obviously, they wanted him out.
The board did, yeah. But
Right.
who knows why, though? They might be doing stuff that's corporate smart that he didn't like.
Well, they probably also realized that he's running around talking about all his political stuff, and you got to knock that shit off. That killed Chick-fil-A almost.
It did hurt Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. They can't give money to the anti-gay churches anymore.
No.
And that's got to be really tough for them. They were trying to use their chicken money to get the gays to not be gay anymore, and they can't do that anymore
No, but they took the heat.
because of Popeyes.
Yeah. But that's kind of how it is, that there's another option now. And if people who are like gay are like, all right, fuck it. If you want to support people that are anti-me, I'm not going to eat in your place.
Right.
That's how you do it. And then they're like, all right, fuck it. We won't do that anymore.
Right. Same way if old Schnatters is like, well, we're telling you exactly who our candidate is. Everybody that's with the other candidate is like, all right, we'll just go to Domino's for bad pizza.
But to me, that's how like a fucking boycott should work. Like, hey, these people are anti-me or anti something I believe, and they're not, and they're actively pushing against something I believe.
Right.
So I'm not gonna eat there. I'm not gonna burn a store down. I'm not gonna fucking ask for them not to be legally allowed to have a store. I don't want their stores thrown out of my town. I'm just not gonna eat there. And if people who feel that way don't eat there and don't support what they're doing, eventually they'll change how they do it because they feel it.
You'll have faith in letting the marketplace dictate?
But that's what the marketplace dictating is. It's not fire this one, get rid of that one immediately and silence it.
Alert the sponsors!
It's, hey, we don't like that you're fucking fighting for this, and we're not going to patronize your fucking dumb chicken place.
Right, but we're still going to eat chicken.
Yeah, we'll just go to Popeyes.
We're going to Popeyes. And then Chick-fil-A is like, but we were just kidding about the anti-gay stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Put drumsticks in your hiney. We don't care.
To every high-level executive that's left, or somebody close to me has talked to them. And we're talking a half a dozen executives. I mean, they've lost more executives in the last 12 months than I did in 10 years. I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days, and it's not the same pizza. It's not the same product. It just doesn't taste as good. The way they're making the pizza, the way they put
I don't know if that's the greatest...
40 pizzas in 30 days?
That doesn't sound like a guy who's doing well.
No.
It's a new ESPN documentary.
Yeah.
40 for 30.
40 for 30. It sounds like a man who's been urinating into a jar when he finally got Hell's Angels made.
Yeah. Is this Papa John's? Yeah, you know what the fuck this is. Bring me another one. Bring me another pizza.
Sir, I think you've had enough.
He's trying to prove that Papa John's is not as good without him by announcing he's gone to Papa John's 40 times in the last month.
Yeah.
And gotten pizzas and gone like, it used to be better ingredients, better food. It's not anymore. Like he was the chef. You know what I mean?
I love that he's bashing them though. Because he's fucked these corporations and the people behind them. They're just bloodless.
Yeah, but it's not like, I don't
He started it.
I get it. But this isn't the most strategic thing in the world. To watch the jilted ex-employee smash the company on TV, it's not like anybody goes like, oh, I'll think twice. This is coming across negatively for him, not for Papa John's.
I don't know, but it reminds people of, oh yeah, they're fucking douches, and there's other options. I
don't think Papa John's looks bad at all in this. He's like, so what? I use the N-word. I've had 40 pizzas in 30 days.
It reminds me of, oh yeah, they just fucking gave this guy the boot, and they're not saying why. So if they're using that to me, like you said, as an excuse. If they came out and said, look, this was the fifth thing. Other stuff was he had made terrible decisions, financially detrimental decisions. We had to do it because he wanted to do this thing that was going to open something. It was going to lose money. Then it makes sense. But it's just he said something impolite with a decent motive on the phone. And we know the context, and we're going to crucify him anyway. That makes me go, fuck the company.
He's eaten 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
I respect that.
That's not a man.
That's a man who likes to take a doughy shit.
He's not doing well. Nobody who's eaten 40 pizzas in 30 days is doing well.
John Schnatter's on the phone. You want to talk to him?
Yeah.
Let's talk to John Schnatter.
I don't want to besmirch John Schnatter. If we can have the opportunity to talk to him. John Schnatter, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Hello,
Hi,
John.
How are you?
Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I want to set the record straight. I had my company taken from me inappropriately. I did eat 40 pizzas in 30 days, and I'm not in a very good place right now. The pizza was very, very bad.
Then why'd you eat 40 of them?
Yeah, why so many?
Well, because I love pizza, and I thought it would get better. The more pizza I ate, the more I thought it would improve, and it just didn't.
Look at how I live!
Yeah.
I was making a joke.
What?
It just didn't taste fresh. All right, John.
Thank you, John
Thank
Schnatter,
you.
for calling in.
Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Oh, you make
And
things up.
And I oop.
John, not so quick on his feet.
Oh, John.
That's
Where did you
all
learn your trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot?
right. Idiot.
Yeah, if you're trying to make a case for yourself, going on television, talking about how they screwed you over, looking all sweaty and bloated, and saying I ate 40 pizzas in the last month it's not the best way to do it.
I'm still Team Schnatter.
I know you are, but he's not even. I was thinking he would be on here announcing the new Schnatter's Pie franchises available. No Schnatter's Pies.
How much money did he get from that? Like, he's got to be
A ton of money.
He's probably worth millions and millions of dollars. How much is he worth now after this?
Yeah, I don't think that he's gonna want for anything.
But he liked going to the games.
He just sold like millions in stock like 2 weeks ago.
He likes being he doesn't want to be rich.
He
John
likes being
Schnatter.
Papa
He wants
John's,
to be
right.
Papa John.
He likes going to places and being.
Well, yeah, that's why he still wears a red shirt.
Yeah, he wants to be Papa John.
He wants to be noticed.
He doesn't want to have to pay for his 40 pizzas. He wants them for free. He wants to be able to say the N word in certain contexts.
He had
And-
9.5 million shares.
Yeah. Every now and then, drop an N-bomb, say, hey, it's okay, Colonel Sanders did it too, and go about his day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the way he said it was dumb, but again, it was just stupid.
That was his initial defense. Well, Colonel Sanders did it. All right, Papa John. We've moved on from Colonel Sanders,
He donated $1 million to a historically black college, emphasized that Schnatter's action should speak louder than words. The black community has heard too many false words, but today's action, the generosity specifically for black education, uplift speaks louder, Reverend Cross. That was the college president.
Well, that's great. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's eating too many pizzas.
He filed a lawsuit to gain access to their books. I hope he gets what he wants.
He's got to let it go.
Oh, no.
Let it
I
go.
say go out fucking.
He's
How much is he worth now?
He's worth a lot of money, and he's not going to win.
I don't know.
He's not.
He wants to see their books if they've done something shady.
They haven't. He's got to let it go.
I want to know.
If you're that talented, just create
Worth $107 million.
Yeah, take your $100 million, create a new pizza chain, and go about your business.
No, they're still. Why don't they change his name of the pizza place, of the pizza company?
It's John. It's not like it's Papa Schnatter. It's John. There's lots of people named John.
Papa John, though.
Nobody.
Nice
He's not even
house.
Italian.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google.
You trying to sneak in ads?
What are you?
You got a little
Sake
payola
Google?
over there?
It's quite silent.
Keyword Troy Kwan.
He has a big fucking house, 15,000 square feet.
That's what I mean. Enjoy your big house. Enjoy your $100 million. You did it.
He misses getting picked up to the airport and going to the Super Bowl. He used to go to the Super Bowl and hang out and talk to dumb Peyton Manning. That was his life.
But then he shouldn't have been dropping N-bombs because Colonel Sanders could.
He didn't mean it like that. He wasn't saying it and then defending it with Colonel Sanders. He was saying Colonel, and again, it was a
He did
dumb
defend
thing.
it with Colonel Sanders.
No. He didn't say it and then go, but how come Colonel, he was saying Colonel Sanders calls blacks, and then he was saying it dumb, but he was trying to make a point. It was ill-advised, but I don't think it should cost you your fucking company. I don't think an ill-advised moment where you're not trying to be hateful should cost you your fucking company.
It's over.
It's wrong.
Right or wrong, it's over. Stop eating 40 pizzas. This man is obsessed with Papa John's.
What does this mean, Ben in New Jersey? I don't know what this means. I hope he gets his company back. He's going to win.
He's not going to get his company back, and he's not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Ben.
Well, what I'm saying is they get to unseat the ruler. The stock goes down for like 2 days.
Well, go ahead. Say what you were saying before, because the audience didn't read your thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. What I was saying was, is all Papa John's was doing was shorting their own stock.
Mm-hmm.
They get to unseat John Schnatter, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yep. His name
The
is
stock
John
goes down
Schnatter.
for like 2 days. The pizza's still good. The stock goes back up, and they make money.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You're saying it's a stock trick. Yeah, maybe. Do they buy? Do the guys buy stock in the time when he's fired? They go out and buy stock.
I guess
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't.
That's the idea. I don't know. Thank you,
The
Ben.
media tries stuff all the time. Hey, can I say Mike Montone is the next last professional broadcaster?
It is very ironic that there could be a next last professional broadcaster.
Yeah, the true last professional
But it
broadcaster.
could be. It could be.
You're simply Sam, the next to the last professional broadcaster.
It could be. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. Yeah. Mark in Texas has a great point.
What's going on? This is going slow. What's going on, Mark?
Hey guys,
Hello,
man.
Mark.
big fan of the show.
Of course.
Love listening to y'all. Hey, I read somewhere that after he bombed in that interview, his mom took away all his royal duties.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Did they fix this this thing that I asked for?
I have no idea.
I definitely know that engineering was made aware of the issue.
They were told it's headphones. Just like
No.
it's a computer.
Oh, can we ask if they followed up?
Yeah, I'll
Thanks.
ask Rob,
Yeah, 'cause it's
Rob was
still.
taking care of it.
Yeah. I would say this is the pizza equivalent to the Prince Andrew interview.
I find this more offensive. The way they've treated. Let me watch the end of the little like.
I mean, dude, how obsessed are you? If you're buying 40 pizzas in a month.
Well, it's his product too, though. It is
it's
different.
not his product anymore.
But it's his name. It's him. It's his company. He
Let it-
started this thing.
Start a new one.
Made it into a giant, and he just got fucked in a corporate setting where I could see how he got fucked. Again, I wouldn't even be having this conversation if they had said he had said this in anger to an employee or was overheard saying it by a black employee. He was, like, all right, those are things you should know better. This was just a dumb thing where you think the context is understood, but it's not. Everybody knows how this can happen. And once again, we pretend we don't.
Wouldn't you take his opinion a little more seriously if he showed up in a suit instead of a red shirt and didn't say he was eating 40 pizzas in the last month?
If he wasn't the guy who started it, maybe, but he's the guy. Guys who start these things are not perfect corporate pictures. Guys who create these things because of their name, they're not fucking CEO looking guys. They're just a guy who started something. If he was the guy if he was the head of Exxon, well, yeah, I'd say put a suit on, shithead.
I think the N word was something he was using at other times, right?
I don't know that. Well, that's different. I hadn't heard that. Was it?
I thought I read that earlier. I can't find anything
Who,
about
Sam?
it. Well,
no,
of course.
I don't think so.
Well,
Go back to the.
Is that true? I don't know.
Just a thing that Troy just said. Go back to the interview.
The pizza together is just not fundamentally sound to what makes a Papa John's pizza a Papa John's pizza.
It sounds like you're saying that it's taken a huge hit since your departure. Would you ever consider, or do you want to go back?
Right now, I don't want to go back.
But this is still your baby.
Lies.
It's your name on it.
To your point, Stefan, it's hard to watch this. I mean, every single thing you can possibly.
They should fire whoever is in charge of this shoot. But if you wonder why little local news, where can people Google this and watch it if they want to see?
It's all over Twitter.
How
Top trend.
We'll tweet the
horrendous
video.
that is.
You can retweet the video that's on Twitter.
What are they
There you go.
saying about it? People just saying Papa John's comes because he doesn't seem that angry. He seems like he's annoyed, but he's not irrational.
People are saying that he's bloated and sweaty and he ate 40 pizzas in the last month. That's what people are saying.
The big headline on Twitter is the 40 pizzas.
He
in
has
30
so
days.
many pizza. How could you go through 40 pizzas? It should take you like if you're just a man, it should take you like 2 or 3 days to go through a pie. Maybe 2 days if it's just you. And that's all you're eating.
I don't know, man. When I'm hungry, I can house a whole pie.
Yeah, but
40 in 30 days
you'd
is
need
more
to go
than one a day.
Yeah, you need to go through in a month. You would need to go through a pie a day, and then a third of those days, 2 pies a day.
But a pie's only this big.
Yeah, but you know what he's doing? He's probably ordering from different locations and taking a bite out of each one or eating like a quarter of a slice. He's probably just tasting them and seeing.
He said he had 40 pizzas. He didn't say, I've had parts of 40
Well, do you think he
pizzas."
wants to say I'm throwing my own product out?
No, I think he's
It's
really.
not his product.
Look at him. He's bloated and greasy.
Does he
He's
look
had
bloated?
40
I don't know. What
He looks terrible,
He
dude.
looks awful.
Sweaty.
Sweaty. He
His
looks
hair's wet.
awful.
Yeah, I think that pizza's soaking up a lot of alcohol.
Is that dyed?
Yes,
Yeah, of
with
course it
Sharpie.
I think it looks good. It looks like squiggy.
And he ate 40 pizzas last month.
I respect that.
It's Thanksgiving. It's about to be Thanksgiving. When's he going to go on a diet?
You having turkey?
Oh, yeah. Papa John's like, I know that usually we get turkey for Thanksgiving, but we should order some pizzas. I need to test the quality. You're obsessed, John.
I know. I
Let it go.
haven't had pizza in a while. Is Papa John's better than like Domino's or the other ones?
It's exactly the same.
They're all kind of the same.
Yeah. It's the same. I get Domino's when I want shitty pizza.
Yeah, Domino's is better than Papa John's.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Schneider's pies are better, but, you know.
Yeah.
I love a piping hot Schnatters
Who doesn't?
dripping on my thigh.
It's an American institution. Dripping on
Schneider's has a garlic sauce.
But wouldn't it be wouldn't it be better if instead of all this he was like, yeah, Papa John's sucks. I've ate 40 pizzas. It's not good. Welcome to Uncle Schnatter's Pizza.
Has a nice ring to it.
Wouldn't you go to Uncle Schnatter's Pizza?
Yeah.
Unky Schnatters.
I'd like to open, and you can open your very own Unky Schnatters in your neighborhood.
How about Daddy John's? Get a Daddy John's.
That feels a little close.
Hey, it's yours.
Daddy John's.
Daddy John.
loud.
He's so because he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the concept of inside
He's
and
used to
outside
calling in
voices.
airstrikes. Lovely fucking war, gentlemen.
Mike Kilgore.
Hey, you're on the phone, Captain.
Every time that Mike Montone talks, the lunk alarm goes off at a Planet Fitness somewhere.
All right, let's finish up. I want to see what he says. So far, he's got me.
I know you're
I'm
big
Team
Pop-
John.
You're a big Papa John
I'm
supporter.
Team John Schnatter.
I'm sorry, not Papa John. He's not Papa. You're a big John Schnatter guy.
I don't even think that he's the. I'm not saying he's not a bit of an ass at times, and he
He
shouldn't
ate
have said
40
that.
pizzas last month.
I respect that. I respect his dedication
Every
to his
bite.
product. That's right.
It's not his product. And why do you have to test 40 of them? If he had had 5 pizzas in the last month and they weren't as good, people would believe it.
You
If
need a
he said
larger sample size.
40?
Yeah.
One man?
Yeah.
You don't think that John from the former Papa John's John may have a bias? You think that maybe his 40 pizzas being eaten by somebody else might have been a proper sample size?
He's also got nothing else going on.
No, you get 100 million. He's used to having money, and that whole thing of being, you know what it's like probably to fly to the Super Bowl and you're VIP'd everywhere. You can talk to the players and the team and your commercials running. Like you're a part of it and it's your life and you're a celebrity when you're there. And now all of that is gone. Like, yeah, you could go to the game. You know, I'm sure he knows people, but you're not in the owner's box anymore. You're not hanging out with the team. Peyton Manning isn't, you know, you're not on the fucking field, whatever these guys do.
I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to guess that John Schnatter may be prone to some ego problems.
I don't blame him on this one.
And that maybe he jumped in to being Papa John and thinking he was indestructible and maybe not listening to people when they told him, stop opening your fucking mouth.
Maybe.
We're trying to sell pizzas.
Good one, Troy. Let me hear more. We're almost done. 30 more seconds.
To mismanage this company, they're doing. My metaphor is there's no reason to be in the car when the car crashes, even if you love the car.
If you were
That's a good metaphor.
It sure is. He's not wrong.
If you love the car and it's in a deadly crash, you shouldn't be in the car.
Absolutely.
When it crashes. That's probably some of the corporate logic that he used to get to where he's at.
This reporter has a great hairdo.
Well, yeah, it's
Real natural.
stuck on.
What do you think the employees would say?
If the management team was out, and I went back in, they'd be cheering, they'd be doing backflips, they'd be bouncing off the walls.
John Schnatter
poor
plans
John.
to share more than just his
How would he know if
I believe him.
that you think
Yep.
that because the man who ate 40 pizzas,
I think his people probably miss him. They miss the guy who started it, who actually cared about the company as opposed to a bunch of fucking corporate assholes. I'm sure they miss him.
nobody misses him.
His
I don't
people
even
do.
care who the CEO of this company is. Why would his people?
Because they probably interacted with him. He's the type of guy who probably walked around the corporate offices. He would probably get shit done. Like, you know, hey, John, hey, what do you need? He probably was a good guy to be around. I have complete faith.
You have just created this
That's
utopian vision of Papa John.
I have.
In your head, he's the ultimate. You want to go work at Papa John's for Papa John.
I just don't like how he was booted. And again, if he was saying that all the time in a corporate setting, all right, that's stupid, but I hadn't heard that.
He's a bit of an ass. Confirmed.
But are any of them not a bit of an ass under scrutiny? I mean, if they're not wearing a red shirt and sweating on TV, they're testifying in front of Congress for doing something scummy.
He's not under scrutiny. He's volunteering for an interview.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's under scrutiny now, though, because
Nobody's even
though-
talking about him.
No, but he's still under scrutiny once he's done the interview. I mean, even though
the
he's
only
not.
time anyone talks about him is when he puts himself back in the news.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of
He
course.
could just go home
Yeah, make Unky
Sit-
Schnatters.
Sit in his mansion.
I don't blame him for wants his company back. He doesn't just
He's
want
not
his
getting
money.
it.
Yeah,
Yes, he will. John will be victorious.
No, he is reaching out to news agencies. They are not reaching out to
A
him.
man who's going on the local news and announcing he had 40 pizzas in the last month is not going to get his company back. He's panicking. He's in a downward spiral.
I
He's
disagree.
not doing well.
He's angry and he's not willing to let go
It's been a year. How long has it been since he was gone?
of his.
It's been over a year.
That's his baby. He created it.
How long
It's
has
been
it
over a year. I was Papa John for Halloween last year.
Oh my God!
And we had already established the whole Schnatters pie thing.
By the way, Travis
over a year.
has the best Halloween costumes, doesn't he?
Papa John. I know. He wanted
Yeah.
to be Papa Teft, but he couldn't find a tear dispenser.
What?
It's a. I get it.
I was making a joke.
Yeah, I know you were.
Sorry, Travis.
I don't.
He
About my mother.
he announced he was stepping down.
When you say it like that, I just feel small, stupid.
So he announced he was stepping down as CEO 2 years ago. And then in July of 2018 was when he got thrown out of the company off the board. So he wasn't CEO for like 6 months.
Oh,
But
yeah,
then-
but I don't think he was being disruptive. Is that what it was?
Yeah, and he's gone out and he's jumping on television and he's making his opinions about everything known, and it's not good for pizza sales. Stop talking about how you feel about things that aren't pizza.
Yeah, maybe. If he was doing that, then
Does he address
What-
the N-word?
No.
that's not a nice way to.
I mean, he said just that he was, thrown out for it. But yeah, he was outwardly, if I remember correctly, against Kaepernick kneeling in the NFL.
Yeah, you said it hurt their business.
Yeah, so it's like if you're taking sides on that issue and you're a pizza salesman, it's not good for the pizza business on one end or the other. You don't want to be mixed up in all that. If I'm trying to sell pizzas, I don't want to have anything to do with anything this Kaepernick fella is doing, pro or con. And so I'm sure that the board is like, hey, like the hot button political issues of the day, maybe don't talk about them,
Yeah,
John.
we don't have an opinion on that because again, we want to sell pizzas to black people who kneel and for white people who don't like kneeling.
Yeah, we're just trying to sell some pizzas, John. You're getting in the way of that. And he's like, well, whatever pizzas we don't sell, I'll buy myself. And I'll eat them all right now.
You think that's why he cashed out all that stock?
Oh, yeah, he's losing money quick, and it's going right back into Papa John's. Just get Pizza Hut, bro. You can get that too.
Yeah, so much better.
Yeah, it really is.
Papa John's is like the worst out of the three.
Yeah, Papa
Yeah.
John's is Little Caesars level.
I used to love Little Caesars.
Well, sure, it's like $5 for a large pie.
Was it? I don't remember.
They still are.
There have been moments where, like, I've been driving around and, like, when I'm traveling or whatever, I'm going to be in the car for a while and it's a busy day. I've done it in Los Angeles before, where I'm, like, in the middle of a whole bunch of stuff and I pass a Little Caesars. And I'm like, fuck it.
And you do it?
You go in. They have them ready. They're just sitting there waiting for you in the hot box. And you go in, you give them a crisp $5. They give you a large pie.
Wow.
And I just sat there driving to wherever I was
Is
going.
the quality good?
It's very bad.
Oh, is it better than Domino's?
No,
Okay.
no, it's worse than Domino's,
But-
in my opinion.
It's one large cheese pizza just for you.
Just for me. It reminded me of cafeteria pizza.
Oh, it's like
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's cafe, and it sits in a hot box waiting for you to pick it up for $5.
You ever have a nice piece of New York pizza?
I don't know, local guy.
My favorite New York pizza place just closed.
No, it's not closing, is
Yeah,
it?
it's closed. It's
No.
gone.
Which one?
Sbarro's.
The Sbarro in Times
Times
Square.
Oh
Square.
man, you know what it is? That's probably going back to Brooklyn.
Sbarro's.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. That's a landmark.
Yep, not anymore.
Yeah,
Plus one
Sbarro's.
of literally the funniest office jokes of all time.
Hilarious.
Michael Scott comes to New York and he's trying to like pretend like he knows New York. And he goes, this is my favorite New York pizza spot. And he's right outside Sbarro's in Times Square. And then they have him walking down the sidewalk. And he walks literally all the way to the Hudson River. Like he goes to the West Side Highway and he goes to the Hudson River and he goes, oh, it's the other way. And he has to walk back in the other direction because he can't figure out the grid.
It's gone.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
And I'll bet Schnatter is sitting there going, "See, that's opportunity."
Yeah,
if I
open
was
up
still
a flagship right there.
Yeah, what if he had the Times Square
Unky Schnatter's family feed bag?
Unky Schnatter's. Here I am, Papa John, while you eat. Please take the pizza off my head. It's extremely hot.
How about he starts a new pizza place and he calls it John's Original?
Yes.
John's Original or the Original John's.
And then he gets in a fight with Ray. Famous Ray's and Ray's Originals all over New York.
Oh, is Ray's Originals a place? What is that?
You don't know about Famous Ray's?
There's Famous Ray's. There's Ray's. There's Ray's Original. Oh, my God.
Pizza places.
Yeah.
Oh,
in New York.
okay.
It's an icon of New York.
I'm sure I've seen them.
Give me an Original J.
It's tourist pizzas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Famous Original Ray's Pizza, Famous Ray's Pizza, the Original Ray's Pizza, Ray's Pizza, Famous
It's all the same
Ray's.
company or no? I guess so.
No, it's all different.
It's all
Are they
different.
really? Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like how there's like 100 Blarney Stones
yeah,
in the city.
yeah. But they all have very, very similar logos.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say, yeah, Original John's Pizza.
Oh, yeah, Ray's Pizza. Okay.
But Papa John's has never been that good.
John's Pizza in the Village is probably my favorite. It's like off 6th Avenue.
Schnatter's?
There's a different John.
Oh.
I probably trying
There's
to
no
cash,
seats.
trying to cash in on the name John.
Oh, I've eaten there.
We get there. We get them at the cellar. Sometimes Colin like, let's get pizza, and I always know I'm about to go on a fucking 5-month binge because pizza always starts me down a fucking a fat trail, and I can't stop. Like
Because there's nothing better than pizza.
There's nothing
It's so good.
better. I remember the satisfaction we got. I forget. I was with Amy and probably Bobby and Keith, or somebody and Keith. And Colin was going to bring in pizzas. So we're like, yeah, go get the pizzas. And he went and got 2 large pies from John's, and then all of us left. So he walked back into the cellar with 2 pies. And this is how stupid Colin is. We were walking down the Minetta Tavern Lane, which is like when you go outside the Comedy Cellar, you make a right. There's a small little alley called Minetta Lane. It goes from McDougal to 6th. And we walked right by him. And this fucking old fool was carrying the pizzas, and we're like, he's gonna see us, and we all just looked down, and he walked right by us carrying 2 large pies.
He was just thinking about how great his pizza is going to be, especially
Those
shared
chums.
with friends.
Yep, we all walked away. However, we did fuck ourselves out of great pizza.
You could always go get pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not every day that you get to see Colin Quinn looking
Burning
like
his
an ass.
hand, carrying it 3 blocks. But that is the best. When I eat a John's, I know I'm on for I think, or is it Joe's? Sorry, it's Joe's.
Oh.
John's is the one in the Village. That's
John's
the famous
is
one.
John's is named after you, right?
Yes,
It's
my
your
sexual
pizza.
hat. No,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's Tricks. Yeah, Joe's is the one in the Village.
Yeah.
Joe's on, it's right off 6th Avenue.
Oh, yeah, I've been there before.
That's fucking
It's
great.
sometimes a real pain in the ass because there's lines there.
There's
'cause
always a line. There's
people
nowhere
know
to
about
stand.
it, but it's really, really
God damn,
good.
is it good?
It's really good. I stick to Bestchester myself, but, you know, Sal's and Mamaroneck for Tallies in New Rochelle, but
Yeah,
whatever.
they give you free pizza and you don't tip them.
Oh, it's so shitty.
Isn't that awful?
That's it.
Remember that?
Isn't
That's
that
it.
terrible, Troy?
Terrible.
But by the way, that's all shit. So
You tipped him recently?
yeah, I mean, since we've had the conversation, if you recall in that conversation, I wasn't prideful about it. It was information to me. If you recall, you guys were pointing out something that maybe I didn't think of.
How much tip?
$700. That's how much I tipped.
How much do you have?
I don't know, like $20.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was like regular. Yeah.
Troy, you think it was 20?
What am I walking around with $10 bills?
Do you think Sam is a skinflint?
I do.
I did. I passed him a 20 and I was like, I need 15 back.
I'll get change sometimes. If you get a tip, if I get a tip, a guy getting my car to the garage, I'll get change.
Well, yeah, it's either getting change or you get nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
Do you
I've
say
had
it like that,
drivers.
Travis? You piece of shit.
Yeah.
Now give me change or you get nothing. All I have is a 20. You'll give me change or you will get nothing.
I have one guy who would drop me off at home. I'd have to run in and make a purchase to get change. If I only have like a 20 or if it's a driver, it'd be more than that. If I only have like a 50 or if I happen to have 100 and that's it, which is, usually have something smaller.
La-di-da.
Yeah, but they say you got, 15, 20 hundreds. Maybe I had a big day at the track. I bet on a horse called Battle Gun. Mine was the only one that had training wheels. Woody Allen.
No, I know who it was. It was a good impression. Let's listen to the end of Papa John. As Jim said, having a heroic interview where he's clearly going to get his company back.
Righto.
I would just say, stay tuned.
Oh, wait, go rewind a little bit because I love his foreboding. Jim, you probably buy into this.
100%. I want him to file a giant lawsuit and win.
He's not going to win unless it's a lawsuit where his like arteries are all clogged up because he ate 40 pizzas in 30 days.
No, he's going to sue because he wants to get inside those books and see.
He's not getting in the books. He's not
Sure
going to win.
is.
It's over.
Just knocked my mustard fork on my phone.
Good. Mustard fork.
What do you think the employees would say?
If the
Who said I
management
was
team
stripping?
out.
Could you go back again? He fell on his buttons.
I hit my fucking water bottle.
The old man fell on his buttons again.
I knocked my water bottle on my fucking buttons.
Sorry, I fell on my buttons.
He fell on his buttons.
You got this, dude.
Yeah,
No?
I got it.
Oh, okay, good. All right, then we'll go to the clip then.
You love the car.
If you were to walk back in as CEO, what do you think the employees would say?
If the management team was out, and I went back in, they'd be cheering, they'd be doing backflips, they'd be bouncing off the walls. I mean,
He's got a lot of David Brandon, doesn't he?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, they'd be doing backflips.
They'd be doing backflips, bouncing off the walls. They would not.
They'd be bouncing off the windows like this light.
Like they'd be the employees would throw a party because Papa John is back. Nobody cares.
No.
By the way, you
Nobody
know who
who
else should
works
be
at-
fired?
Who?
The fucking sound guy for allowing the mic cord to hang by his cock instead of tucking it behind him. What an abominable crew.
You know what? The sound guy,
An abominable crew.
the sound guy probably naively thought, well, they're not going to shoot this so that you could see his whole entire body because then the light would get in the shot and it would look terrible. They're going to shoot it from the belly up.
This
So
would be
it's
the
okay
worst
if
shot
the
thing
wire
I've
is
ever
hanging.
seen.
Yeah.
Local Louisville,
Yeah.
See, there's still a
TV.
television station, and you
No, I
wonder
know.
why you're local yokels. Well, look what you're doing.
That's why you're working in Louisville.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're stuck
Louisville.
getting the Papa John exclusive.
This is the new thing now with news for some reason.
What,
The Prince-
sucking?
No, the Prince Andrew interview. They showed the lights, and it's like these.
Yeah, but
weird-
that looked good.
well. Those are professionals.
You're
These
right.
are-
They do that.
yeah.
Haven't they always done that to give
Do-do.
you a sense of where you are?
Yeah, they used to do it on like the 2020 shows. They
Yeah.
would show the
They-
cameras.
they
Lights
give
are
you-
placed correctly.
And they show you where. Right, they're not in every
They're not
close up.
shining right in the camera.
The light's not pointing to the lens.
Yeah.
They do that for a two shot. Like when they need a
Yes.
two shot, you see the background. So they're not just jump cutting all the time. But again, they're showing you the setting they're in so you can see where they're sitting in relation to each other.
But they don't leave the mic wires exposed.
What a beautiful job they did in the Prince Andrew interview.
That was the BBC.
Unbecoming.
He's a convicted sex offender. I was being polite.
Yes. Let's finish this up.
And to share more than just his wealth.
I would just say, stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight now? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Stay tuned.
How soon will that happen?
Stay tuned. Sooner than later.
He didn't end strong.
got nothing.
Basically, the interviewer got frustrated and goes, "Why are we here?" Well, I'm here to set the fucking record straight, and you're giving me stay tuned.
There's nothing to this. It's over. I don't
I
know
don't
why.
blame the interviewer for being annoyed.
I don't know why he's doing this interview, except to announce he's eating so much pizza.
Got to read the book. Leaf Garrett runs fucking. He's from Papa John's.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Sooner than later. You're not saying anything, Papa. There's nothing to any of this. Except for the fact that we learned that Papa John had 30, is a little greasy, and that he had 30 pizzas in the
40
last,
pizzas.
40 pizzas. I was going to say 30 in
Don't
the last
short
40.
Papa John.
It's 40 in the last 30.
Yes.
Yes, 40 pizzas in the last 30 days. He's ordering, it's 2 a days. Twice a week. Twice a week. And some weeks 3 times a week. It's a 2 a day for Papa
You know
John.
why he's going crazy?
Because he lost his company.
No, but I mean at this time of year. Because now it's almost Thanksgiving, which goes right into Christmas and then the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl time.
We're looking into it. Not if you're a Cowboy fan, because why would they win a big game?
Are they not going to the Super Bowl?
I literally...
They had their dynasty years.
You know what?
What?
Get a fucking good coach. They stink. Their coaching stinks.
Who do we think's going to the Super Bowl this year?
Patriots are 9-1. We're 10-1 now.
Oh, good. Patriots Super Bowl. I was
It's-
just hoping
it's-
there'd be something new
Dude,
and
it's
different.
so revolting.
Ravens are going to Super Bowl.
It's so revolting.
Ravens Patriots? Are
No,
they in?
that can't
They're
happen.
both AFC.
Are they both in the?
Ravens will beat the Patriots to get to the Super Bowl.
You think so?
Oh, 100%.
Is the AFC American Football
You
Club?
can't say 100% with Tom Brady. You can't. The guy is literally. There's just never been anybody better at that job.
Beat him once already.
So who from the
This year?
National Football Club will go
Okay,
to
cool.
the...
So what are the odds of them beating him twice? That's a problem.
I'm
You
not
don't. You
with
don't want to go into that having beaten them already.
Oh, wait, I
You're not
forgot.
beating the Patriots twice in a year.
Teft is a Baltimore Cup.
That's right. But they're also like one of the best teams in football.
Pat
Yeah, he thought, Ray Lewis.
Dude, their quarterback, Lamar Jackson, he's insane.
What's wrong with him? I'm fucking crazy too.
So much fun to watch this team.
Pat McAfee told me over the weekend that the Ravens are the best team in football.
They're incredible. Yeah, they're
And
absolutely the best team.
What's their record?
He talks about football all the time. So
9-2, 9-2. They won again last night.
Who have they lost to?
Jets.
Yeah, they lost twice to the Jets. Yeah, they lost early.
Cowboys
early in
lost to the
season.
Jets.
Cowboys lose to everyone.
Yeah, they did.
They really suck.
So who from the National Football Club is looking good?
San Francisco.
Are
they really?
Yeah.
San Francisco Giants.
Nope.
Santa
Santa Frane.
The San Francisco Golden Gates.
Yeah, they look good.
Oh, so the 49ers and the Ravens, eh? That's your prediction?
I'll call it. Sure. Yeah.
In the game of San Francisco.
Actually, I'm rooting for the Denver Broncos.
Why?
Just joking.
You're right about the timing though, because they just all the Super Bowl commercial talk
is coming up.
It's just starting.
He's not anyone.
They just announced they've sold out their ad revenue or whatever, not their ad revenue, but their ad space, their
sure.
inventory, their ad inventory. And they've set a new record. It's like $5.6 million per commercial.
Is that for 1 minute?
I think it's for 30
I
seconds.
think it's for 30, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
$6 million for 30? Come on.
Yeah, you get a small discount if you buy more than one.
Oh, good.
But I think they were all still over 5 million.
The trick is to buy in bulk.
Wow.
So 5 commercials.
Yeah, we bought
25
10
million.
I would love to know the payoff.
It was payoff.
No, but does it happen? Does it work? Do companies really see $5 million worth of revenue?
No.
Unless you have the big commercial and the awareness is worth $5 million in
But
advertising.
now they're all put out online even before the game.
The big game.
I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, but we don't want to get sued. It's called the big game.
No, I call it. Sam and I are doing something officially sanctioned by the Super Bowl. This is your home of the Super Bowl. Sam and I are doing it.
This is Jim and Sam Super Bowl. We're actually renaming the Smoke Club the Super Bowl Club.
That's right, and we
The
are
Jim and
doing
Sam
some
Super Bowl
Bowl-oriented things.
Yeah, that's right.
So come to our big national Super Bowl party. We should break because we have Sam Morril coming in.
I think the $6 million is just for like clout, really.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's why Budweiser buys like 10 commercials or whatever.
Yeah, Budweiser, everyone's drinking. I get why they're doing it because people are getting booze during the fucking game.
Yeah, but everybody knows Budweiser. Like
They do, but it's just getting into people's heads, that advertising makes sense. It's the other ones, like for a laptop or these weird ones for E-Trade.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you're like, let's grab the audience and expose them to this new thing. Like,
does it help?
I don't know if it helps to that extent. Jim, you're going to be at Caroline's
12, 13, 14 of December. And that's my last dates.
A New York
quitting.
City headline Jim Norton comedy show, and it's the last ones he will ever do.
For this year, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Well, get your tickets, carolines.com. Sam Morril is coming in, and former WWE
Glenn Jacobs.
wrestler, now the mayor of Knox County in Tennessee. He's a libertarian person. Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane, is coming in. It's going to be a fun show. And we got coverage of Sopranos Con.
Yes, which I want to get into.
Yes, we'll get into all of it. Stay tuned.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. And now, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Waiting on Sam Morril. He'll be here in a little bit.
I didn't realize that was a truck. I thought that was a weird car. That's a weird. That new Tesla is fucking
truck?
ugly. Yes. I didn't see. I hadn't seen the back. Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a truck.
Very bizarre looking.
It's on Tesla power.
It's bizarre looking just for the sake of looking different.
It's the future of trucks.
It's supposed to look futuristic, and it looks like
it's the Homer.
It looks like something you thought looked like the future in 1955.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
I think it looks amazing.
Why? It's so fucking. It's like a prototype for a military vehicle. It sucks.
I am joking.
It looks like the Batmobile.
Sorry.
Nobody thinks the Cybertruck looks
No,
cool.
it was already an embarrassment when he just like unveiled it and he was like, "Here's the truck," and everybody was like,
It kind of looks like a newer DeLorean.
Yeah, absolutely. That's gonna go. It's my whole Christopher Lloyd.
"It's good. It's Doc Brown."
Did you see how they wrote Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Ugh,
How'd they write it?
I'm sure there's a photo of it.
Let me see. Cybertruck.
Yeah, Tesla unveiled it. It's the Tesla Cybertruck. And you, for only $100, you can put a down payment on it and get on the list to get one. But it's basically, the Tesla-powered pickup truck.
Those are really nice. Figure out a way to get it to charge a lot longer. It's a nightmare to charge these fucking things.
How long does a charge last?
I don't know. I mean, a certain amount of hours. It doesn't last long enough to do real drives.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like you have to stop and...
Rob says the biggest one can get up to 600 miles.
How long does it
That's
take
longer
to,
than I thought.
How long does it take to charge 600 miles?
3 months.
Okay, that's a long ass time. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It does it, to sit there for 3 months in a motel. It's crazy.
Well, you just got to plan out your trips.
I know, but you're halfway through and you're like, yeah, I need a room for the next 3 months. The car's plugged in out back.
It's a 500-mile maximum range with the additional solar power panels. Okay, yeah, so that's why it looks so ridiculous. Maybe those are technically solar panels as well. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's also everything proof. The car, the windows, everything.
Yeah.
You see him demo the windows?
Yeah, really impressive.
Let's watch the video. This is Elon Musk a couple days ago. He tests out the windows. He gets a good-looking guy to walk out on stage and pick up a metal...
Fuck yeah!
A metal ball.
I can see Chip driving around in a Cybertruck.
Definitely.
Yeah. Try breaking the fucking windows.
They basically took a softball made of solid steel.
And they dropped it on a regular car window first, and it shattered.
Right. And they were like, well, wait till you see that it doesn't do anything to the Tesla car.
So first,
Is it supposed to be bulletproof? Is that it?
Oh, yeah, it's bulletproof. The windows are bulletproof.
You know why? Because they're hoping like rappers and stylish people will buy it, and it will be seen as a safe, badass vehicle.
Yeah, it is. You can't get through the windows with anything, even a metal softball.
Car glass. I want to show you what happens with normal car glass.
I hate his gloves. I hate his fucking gloves.
What, the demo man?
What a tool. And his rolled up fucking sleeves and his dumb trench.
He doesn't want his hands to get cut. You gotta wear gloves, you're gonna break glass.
You're dropping a ball on glass. It's all for the look.
Oh.
Why is his sleeves rolled up? That look stinks.
It's the future, Jim.
Oh, it's awful.
You're gonna have to get it. It's a dystopian future.
Very cheesy.
And we
you'll
all
get
drive
used to the look.
Tesla trucks. Yeah, it's the dystopian future. We're
Very
here
cheesy.
already.
Very cheesy.
Probably thought an iPhone looked stupid too when you first saw it.
Yeah, but now we got iPhones and we got trench coats with the sleeves rolled up in
We're
gloves.
all looking at screens.
There really is. That's a good observation. There really is no reason to ever wear gloves and exposed forearms.
Dude, it's fun. I wear gloves in the gym, but I
Nice.
wear a long sleeve. But it's because I get calluses if I don't. There's a legit reason. I'm not dropping a metal ball.
Do you wear fingerless gloves?
Yep.
Nice. What happened?
Shatters immediately with a little ball.
And he has a headband on.
Those are goggles.
Oh, all right.
He's
okay.
steampunk, bro.
Yeah, he's totally... This guy is all about the look.
He's steampunk. Why are you hating on steampunk? It's the future.
I don't
Eventually, we'll all wear steampunk clothes because it'll
Black
be
floor,
dystopian.
The light on the car.
By the way, this is the difference between like when Steve Jobs was in charge of Apple and everybody else. Why would you do a demo where the glass is pointed to the floor so nobody can see the glass? Like Elon Musk just has to go, it shattered. Okay, I guess we'll take your word for it, Elon.
Yeah. I actually know the reason.
Okay.
They did say why they did that.
Why?
Because they're stupid.
Oh, I see.
On my glass.
Let's see what happens.
Now they're going to show you their glass
That's right.
where he holds it over his head. Didn't break. All
Didn't
right.
break. Totally fine.
Yeah.
3 people who are very unimpressed clap.
Yeah, because they didn't
clapped
see
because
it.
it was done.
Yeah, like, okay, can we stop talking about the glass now?
Not because they woo, I guess it didn't break.
Yeah, they had to be told it didn't break.
Yeah. Elon, did it break? No, it did not. Great. Luckily, there's a car on stage, though, so we can really see the glass.
It's kind of a small ball though. It's maybe like do it at a bigger height.
Boy, Elon Musk is just electric, isn't he?
I mean,
Doesn't he
He
just
sells his product.
Doesn't he just have? He just oozes personality.
Yeah.
Wait, so the ball's small. Should we get a bigger ball? Yeah, I get the audience is like, no, we're already. See, here's the problem. When you start by unveiling that angular monstrosity of a pickup truck,
yeah,
the audience isn't sitting there going like, well, the car looks like only an idiot would drive it, but at least the glass doesn't shatter when you drop metal balls on it.
They should have done the glass first. This is the glass that's in the car you're about to see.
This is the glass from the car.
Yeah.
Elon.
Yes.
A Tesla pickup truck is a very rare
Yeah,
item.
Mr. Musk. A pickup truck that uses no gas is a very rare item. But this is the shattered glass from the truck. Abu.
Yeah.
You like his goggles?
Hate everything about his contrived outfit.
What
All
about the
lighting
girl?
and the props? It all looks like one of those like big magic tricks.
A game or a game show. Ooh, we're gonna reveal the answer.
Honestly, it looks like they just borrowed Chris Angel's set in Vegas.
Yep. Yeah, it really does.
They were like, here's a mind freak. This car doesn't use gas. Pretty great, huh, guys?
He's a genius and an idiot at the same time.
Yeah, he's a genius at inventions.
Yeah.
But he makes poor decisions in front of people. Yeah. For instance, the time he was peer pressured to smoke weed by Joe Rogan.
Oh, and he cheap it up? Yeah.
It cost himself and everybody that's invested in him millions of dollars by looking like a moron on Joe Rogan's show.
Yeah.
Stock price went down because they watched this guy get peer pressured by Joe Rogan into smoking weed and we have to put a vote of no confidence through to this guy.
All right, let's see what he does here. This is getting exciting.
Isn't it getting? Did you?
Yeah, dropping it on the glass table. Believe me, I'd much rather see Chuck Berry laying under that table.
That would be exciting.
Or Danny Kaye. That'd be a much better display.
Imagine if somebody laid under the table
and someone squatted.
No, not the shit.
Over the top and dropped a huge log, and it was a dull, thick thud.
No, of course not.
It's called what?
Thunk.
Yeah, the wet thwack of a log.
We'll ask our assistant, is there any fecal matter on your face? No, great.
Not at all. Look at that. Teeth are still white.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, if you're at home going, guys, this is the radio. We can only hear the sounds of the glass. We can't see this demonstration. This video is useless. Don't worry about it, because if you're watching the video, you also can't really see the glass. It's basically just the sound of either glass breaking or not. That's the valuable demonstration we have from Elon Musk. Okay, he's going to drop another ball on the glass.
A bigger ball.
There you go. Mr. Electric.
That was a bigger ball.
Yeah.
They're just cheering because something is... Oh, he's higher! Oh, he's higher!
Good thing he's got those goggles on his forehead.
This guy is good. Here it goes. Wow.
And it's like...
Ooh, big cheer.
So the whole time, there's this giant tube, right? And they're just dropping the ball at different heights within the tube. Clearly, we're going to drop it from the top of the tube at some point. Why else would the tube be that long?
Here's why I hate the guy so much. He's standing on the top of the ladder, and he still lowers his arm a little to be a lower, instead of as high as he can go. What are you trying to make Ginger it up? Fucking asshole.
He's steampunk, bro.
I hate him. But here's where it gets really good.
It gets even, I should say.
Better.
Even better.
Yeah, good call.
You want to get one of these trucks?
I do.
Yeah, me too.
I'm afraid of being shot.
Oh, watch this.
Franz, could you try to break this glass, please?
Now the car is there, and he's gonna.
Yeah.
Would you try to break this glass, please?
Franz, will you try to break this glass? The car is now finally we have glass pointed to the audience. There's a Elon Musk Tesla pickup truck on stage. The audience is pretending to be enthused because otherwise they wasted their time this morning. And Franz is walking over with that same metal ball, and he's getting ready to demonstrate the power of the Tesla glass in front of everybody.
Whoa, Franz! They're all excited. Here we go.
Yeah. Here we
Demo
go.
Tesla armor glass.
Yeah.
And?
Oh my fucking god.
It broke.
Well, Maybe that was a little too hard.
It broke. It broke. The glass shattered.
It literally
The glass broke.
couldn't have been worse.
Before we move on, while we're talking about people embarrassing themselves publicly, the way Elon Musk did, the way Papa John did, Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, she's calling back.
Is calling back into the show. She's become a great fan of our show. Queen Elizabeth, all the way from the UK. Are you there, Queen?
Hello, Mumsy.
Oh, I forgot. Prince Andrew's here too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Son, your entire public existence is wiped out.
Oh, Mumsy, none of it's true. I didn't know what was happening.
Yes, we erased you from the historical records.
Mumsy, where are you calling from? I can't really hear what you're saying.
I said we erased you from the historical records.
Oh, Mumsy.
Your public existence has been wiped out entirely.
Queen, there has to be something. Queen Elizabeth, there has to be something we can do here. Why have you decided to erase Prince Andrew from all public records?
For historical purposes. The legacy is more important than any one person, as he well knew when he started.
Didn't you believe my interview, Mumsy?
Sound like Oliver
No!
Twist.
We're past the interview. Apparently I was caught up. Now you've been erased from public records.
But
I know, Mumsy. You've indicated that twice already.
First of all, why does the Queen of England roll her R's? And second of all, records. And second of all, Queen Elizabeth, you did. I had heard you were actually very supportive of Prince Andrew right after the interview. Why the sudden change of course?
And I have heard that you used to live in England as a child.
That's true.
The image of you in some little short pants, some lonely little boy sitting around England with your American accent and your wrestling obsession. It must have been quite a sad couple of years.
It wasn't my favorite.
Are you implying that it must have been fun to watch Sam dressed like Angus Young being beaten by British boys?
Son, you seem to have lost your dialect when you're over there in America.
Yeah, what happened to Prince Andrew? That was all of a sudden.
Jim and Prince Andrew are both here.
Jim and Prince Andrew are both here, Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, son.
Yes. Yes.
You realize the magic of radio.
I don't want to move out.
It's not moving out, you dim bulb. You can at least have Googled the story. Your public existence is wiped out. It's actually rather fascinating.
But Queen Elizabeth, when did you decide to turn against Prince Andrew?
Well, I mean, after I realized it's bigger than him. It's the royal family. I mean,
It's all a pack of lies.
Right.
Wait until Ghislaine comes out. She'll defend me.
Yes, Diana will have to come out and defend you.
Oh, Mumsy.
Oh, Mumsy.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy your morning.
It's always great to hear
Goodbye,
from you, Queen
Mumsy.
Elizabeth.
Another home run.
This was a good one. It's always great to hear from you. Thank you.
We're 2 for 2.
Yeah. Thank you, Queen. Oh, always good to hear from Queen Elizabeth.
It really is. I saw the Queen last night.
Oh, good.
And we discussed the Queen volunteered.
Oh, that's great.
And said, I think it's time for the Queen to call back.
I always like to get an update from Queen Elizabeth.
I said, I agree.
All the way in the UK. Sam Morril is here, so why don't we bring in Sam?
Bring in Sam.
And he can help us
Sure.
finish watching. And once Sam is in here, we'll rewind so we can watch our Tesla moment again. Before we were, I wouldn't say rudely interrupted. I would say pleasantly surprised by Queen Elizabeth on the phone. Sam Morril is here.
Hi, Sam.
Fabulous New York City comedian.
Hello.
Sam, you just missed Queen Elizabeth was on the phone with us.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
By the way, Sam is going to be
Electric call.
at Hilarities in Cleveland Friday and Saturday.
It's a good gig.
I love that club.
I've only done it once for a weekend, but I really loved it.
It's one of the best clubs, man. I first time I was there, I got near saved by a vigilante. I was trying to hook up with a woman, and a dude who's like a psycho vigilante saved my life.
Why?
Because I met a woman after a show, and it was Valentine's Day, and she was there with a guy who she wasn't dating, but was clearly trying to have sex with her. And I'm an idiot, and I tried to fuck her, so that was stupid.
Well, what was the guy doing at the time?
He was buying me drinks, and he was doing that to keep an eye on me. And then he went to the bathroom, and I just asked her, "Do you want to get out of here?" And we went to the bathroom, and then I started making out with her outside, and then he, of course, found me and was like, gonna fuck. He was nuts.
Well, yeah, but right outside, that's a dumb move.
I was hammered.
Oh, you just wanted.
I wasn't. I didn't think
Poor
it through.
decision.
Oh, okay. So what'd the guy do? Did he catch you guys kissing?
No, he just saw me like trying to go back to my hotel with her, and he was just nuts. He was crazy, and
What'd he say?
he was like, "You want to fucking fight?" And he was like, he just looked like he was gonna. He like had a knife or something.
And you were
He
like, I
looked-
prefer not to.
No,
I
It
don't
was
want to
after
do
the
that.
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
They
I
had
was
been
like,
at the
Bartleby
show?
the Scrivener. I was like, I would prefer not to. That's how I get out of fights.
I prefer not to, sir.
So wait,
Settle this like
Yeah, I'd
gentlemen.
prefer not to be gutted for a 6 in Ohio. So wait, so this guy who's just been at your show now wants to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. He said, if you want to fuck her, you have to fight me first. I remember, and like in front of her, like she wasn't there.
What did she say?
She didn't say anything.
Oh, she sucks too.
I know.
You should have clarified. You're saying win or lose? Like as long as I fight you, I can fuck her? Like even if you kick the shit out of me, I can still.
That guy was a complete cock blocker, but I get it. You bring a girl to a show and then the fucking guys that try to bang her.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah, he was in
Yeah,
the
but you
right.
also got to know if you're a guy and you're the fucking pathetic guy friend. Tough shit.
Oh, I see. Since they're
Fucking
like,
asshole guy friend. It's not her boyfriend. Her boyfriend. That's different.
Right.
It's not her boyfriend
You're
or her
right.
husband. Some jerk off she hangs out with who can't accept the fact they're only friends. I'll take you out on February 14th.
Well, in his defense, he won. He left with her, so you know.
Yeah, but he probably just dropped her off at
Probably.
home. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. So right before you walked in, we were watching.
Hold on. Did you get her number?
No.
Okay.
God, no. No, I struck out.
I hope he shows up again at Hilarities, though. The guy
Is she a
comes
good
back.
kisser?
I mean,
How
was
did the
fine.
vigilante save you?
He just was like right behind me, and he was like, I could see he was like ready to go. And then when they left, he was like, I had your back. He was insane. He was like, he thought he was a superhero.
Oh, really?
He was
Like
like,
Bruce Willis in Unbreakable.
Was he a bigger problem than the guy threatening you?
Thanks. No, he was like crazy, but on my side.
No. But who was more of a like? Who,
Oh yeah, he would have killed him. Yeah, he was like thick and crazy.
Like he's
and-
like a typical fucking Midwestern guy who lifts factory equipment for a living. Those Ohio psychopaths.
He I remember he was like really underdressed for Cleveland in February, and he was thick, and I was like, oh, he would fight. He just waits outside to fight. That's
Yeah.
like the type of dude he is.
Thick wrists.
Yes.
His wrists look like Hillary's ankles.
You're like, no, this one's not for me.
No, it was Cleveland is like kind of low key not horrible. The rest of Ohio,
I love
can
it,
be-
yeah.
Toledo is one of the worst cities I've ever been
Dude,
to.
Toledo,
Yeah.
it stinks. It's like I love Cleveland and I love Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus is another
Great
low-key,
market.
Great city, yeah.
Cincinnati, I didn't enjoy, and Toledo, I hated.
How come you didn't like Cincinnati?
They didn't like me. The crowds weren't as good. They were different crowds.
Cincinnati, like whenever I played it, I was like like on the border of Kentucky.
Well, yeah,
I
that's
feel
where
like
it exists. That's
Yeah.
where, that's where
I know.
any of us play it.
I know, but I feel
That
like
would be the
there's, like,
city.
I feel like there's like a downtown area that's like hip. I feel like I was in like rural hick. Like,
Oh.
I feel like I was in like the backwoods.
You do the funny bone?
No, I've done Go Bananas a couple times, and every time I go there, I would go there. They'd be like, "This club is the shit." And you go in, you're like, "Whoa, this is like a beautiful club," and then the crowds just fucking hate me all weekend.
They really?
They suck. Yeah.
Did you have any bad sets at Go Bananas?
Yeah, I remember like when I was first there, like it must have been like 5 years ago. I had an agent in Nashville. That's where my career was.
Ah.
she was awesome, but she was like out of Nashville, which
Yeah.
made no sense. And she's like, "I'll drive." She like brought her whole family to see me. And she brought her whole family to. She's like, "This is my client, I believe," and I just ate shit in front of her whole family for like an hour.
Is that the worst when you bomb in front of the agent's friends?
Agents shouldn't bring friends.
No.
That's like never happened.
Show them a special that's already been shot and you already know how it comes out.
Yes.
It was brutal. But
It's embarrassing, right? Because then you got to talk to them in the green room after.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, we thought you were good. The crowd. Then you have to go, nah, the late show.
I remember they were like, we like that shit joke you told. That was the only thing that hit in Cincinnati. I told like a shit joke, and they were like, that was good. That was
You know when they're pointing out individual jokes, you're like, oh, so overall,
That was awful.
Not that great.
awful.
Not that great.
How long into did you know you were bombing?
I mean, I was just fucking. It was at that point where like you just have a point in your career where you're just like only doing shit rooms. So if you have a one good weekend, it made no sense. It was like a fluke.
Yeah.
I feel like there were like years where it was just like, oh, this is a no-win room,
right.
you know, and you just become a worse. I just became a worse comic.
Because you start to adjust everything you do to no-win rooms.
It's like the Overlook Hotel. The room just takes power over you.
I think it's like the Hotel California.
Ah,
No,
you
I
can
say
never
it's the
leave.
Overlook, 'cause then your writing just becomes the same thing over and over.
So right before you walked in, we were watching The Future of Trucks.
Oh, I heard about this.
Elon
really
Musk
good.
was showing us, this is no gas, pickup truck, 500 miles, looks like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
Unbreakable glass, bulletproof glass.
bulletproof glass, it's indestructible.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Willis in Unbreakable.
Yeah.
It
all comes back to M. Night Shyamalan, man.
every time with me.
Does and
every
the twists
time.
at the end. Who
Oh,
sees them?
He's
coming?
wonderful.
He was dead the
For my
whole
money,
time.
For my money, the Mark Wahlberg vehicle he did. Fantastic.
Which one was the Mark
I'm
Wahlberg?
kidding.
Oh.
It's like the worst movie
What was
ever.
it?
Which one was it?
The Happening, isn't that it?
That was the fucking grass
was causing problems with the rocks?
Can you imagine if you like dated someone who just had horrible movie taste? That would be the worst thing. Like if
I've
someone's
only
like, you
dated people with.
Really?
I hang. My friends have horrible movie taste.
Oh no, I would
Jim,
never.
That's
I
because
could
you
never.
have horrible movie taste.
I have great movie taste.
You
Dude,
don't.
He's in The Irishman,
That's right.
He didn't write it.
but he was in The Irishman. That was a badass cameo, dude.
It was incredible.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I didn't say he's Jim
You're
has
a comic in a Scorsese movie.
I
That's
know.
insane.
Really helped the other guy in Raging Bull. No, no hand, just a hooky head.
Jim
you
has
ever think,
amazing
like,
movie
even-
cameo taste.
But remember like Belzer and Scarface?
Of course.
That's like fucking epic.
It's
I'm working at
incredible.
Club Babylon next week.
But that's like forever. You're just like, oh shit, he's in Scarface. That's amazing.
So here's Elon Musk brings Franz up there to throw basically a metal softball made of steel, solid steel,
I heard all about this.
at the windows of the car.
It's great.
It's great. I want to get one.
Franz, could you try to break this glass, please?
Just electric.
That's the worst voice.
Electric.
Oh.
Yeah. Sure? Yeah. Well,
It's broken, unfortunately. The glass is broken.
I would love to know, like, what. It's horrifying that just happened.
Yeah.
Insane.
It ruins everything.
What happens as Elon Musk? What are you thinking? Like,
Well, he covers it, actually.
He does.
He covers for it.
maybe that was a little too hard.
Wow, that's brutal.
Sorry? Okay. It didn't go through. So that's a plus side. Let's try the right. Try that one, really? Okay.
he talked Elon into trying the other one.
Elon goes, really? Really? Okay.
How do you not test for that when you're putting this kind of money into a car?
I guess they were worried the windows would break and they wouldn't have windows on their test vehicle. That's probably short-sighted.
Yeah.
All right, rewind a little bit,
Now,
Troy.
because this one, because Elon, yeah, right? Like, I don't think Elon wanted to test the other one.
No, you got to rewind more.
Watch.
Oh, okay.
Sorry? Okay. It didn't go through. So that's a plus side. Let's try the right. Try that one, really? Okay.
It was a light throw that time, too.
He literally couldn't have lobbed it lighter.
And it just shattered. You know what the best part of this is? This is only halfway through the demo. So now for the rest of the demo, Elon's got to stand on stage with this car.
With shattered
The
windows.
windows are both shattered.
It looks so stupid too now that you know it's weak because it looks like it's built to just be like a tank or something.
Right. It'd be a terrible tank. So now he's got to sit there and like brag about this indestructible car, except there's two shattered windows.
Oh, it's really, it's fucking.
You stupid fucking cunt.
Yeah, that's all you got to be thinking.
Who are these cars for?
Well, these are outdoorsy people, you know,
Yeah.
real truckers.
Anybody that wants to drive a pickup truck and not use gas.
What did he say here? What was his cover here? This is a disaster.
This is why it gets even more disastrous, because now is the point, and you'll see it. Now is the point in this conference where he's going to explain everything that they've thrown at the windows to make sure that they're unbreakable. And you can see as he's talking, he's got to do it because it shows the objects that he threw at the car behind him. Except he's got to figure out how to explain that they threw all these items at these windows and nothing can break them.
Right.
As we just watched the windows break.
Oh man, it didn't go through. All right. Not bad.
Not bad.
Room for improvement.
What a horrible. I mean,
not bad. Room for improvement.
Literally.
What else can he say?
This is like being on stage and someone has just yelled out the punchline to your closing bit when you started. And you're trying to think, what do I do? Because they've just yelled the punchline. I have nothing.
I mean, imagine if Steve Jobs was introducing the iPhone and he dropped it right before he got to show it, and you just had to see a shattered screen.
Well, the good thing is he would have had a second one. He would have planned for that.
Oh, yeah.
This is like if he introduces iPhone. He's like, this is my personal iPhone. And he got a text from like a 14-year-old boy. That's the equivalent for
Or
Jobs.
imagine if he walked out of the doctor's and said, no, I'm not coming back here. Let's go get a fruit shake.
That sounds like it's exactly what he did, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to have some celery.
Yeah, Steve Jobs would have been firing shotgun shells at this car to make sure that this didn't
100%.
happen.
So how does he cover? I haven't seen him cover.
It's the best.
All right, let's see. So, yeah. We actually throw everything. We threw wrenches. We threw everything. We even literally threw the kitchen sink at the glass, and it didn't break. For some weird reason, it broke now. I don't know why.
So you see, as he's talking, there's a kitchen sink behind him.
You have to improv.
Because this is the part of the speech where he was supposed to say, we threw everything. We threw wrenches. We threw wood. We threw the kitchen sink. Nothing will break this glass. But he can't say that because we just watched a very light throw of a metal ball break
See,
glass.
that's what you didn't throw. By the way, if what he should have done was just kept talking and let that stuff happen. I don't know why they're showing these images. These are things you should not throw at the car.
Right.
You almost feel bad for him, but
Dude,
not,
I like him because he's an inventor and he's not a dick, but it's such... He's trying to block, and this is why he's annoyed that the other guy threw the one at the back window.
Yeah.
Because he knows he could stand in front of this and at least fix part of the visual, but this asshole improv'd a second throw.
You can't stand in front of both.
No, he probably wants to lay like Burt Reynolds in Playgirl.
Well, you could just tell he was ready to be like indestructible. You know what I mean? But now he just looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Fairly destructible.
Yeah.
It's like bragging to your girlfriend, like, yep, you're the only person I've ever cared about, and then she just immediately finds like another girl's underwear in your apartment, you know?
Or like a love note that you wrote to somebody that like you poured your heart out to, and she's like, what is this?
Or you tell her, I'm going to fuck you. Relax, baby. You're going to come tonight for the first time, and you can't get hard.
You pull the old Jim Norton?
Yeah, that's what they call it. They call it the Norton when it's laying on your thigh. I don't know what happened here. I threw everything at it. Pornography.
Sit in post. So.
Oh. He can't stop looking at these shattered glass.
Right. No, this is not like you just couldn't get hard. This is like you shit yourself on top of that because you have to just keep looking at the shit.
You finally talked her into eating your ass and then you shit in her face. Wow, is that fucking... Because what he wants to do right now is go, can we turn the car around?
Right.
And face the other way?
But this is also live. So it's not just for the room.
Yeah.
Like this is live on YouTube. This was live everywhere.
This is like what you expect to see in like an Iron Man, like slapstick comedy, like Tony Stark fucks up somehow.
Like how could this ever happen in real life?
You literally have to kind of realize, because they say he lost like $700 and something million, which again, that will come back when they fix it. But you got to just go, there's something we didn't anticipate, obviously, in this, and we have to fix it.
Right,
and that's it. Don't carry on. You really can't carry on.
When does anything go wrong like this during a test show?
Dude, I've never seen this before.
Seen that.
No, because the whole point of this is to try to get people to put $100 down and sign up to buy this car when it comes out. And you can't do that for a car that's not finished.
By the way, it's probably a good time to put it down. This is probably a good time to buy Tesla stock, because whatever this is, they'll fix it.
Oh, because the stock is down?
As they say, they're talking about shorting the stock. Does it go down a little bit?
I mean, it did. Obviously, it went down. That's why his net worth went down. But, I mean, people also think that the car looks stupid.
Dude, honestly, I hate the top of it. It's supposed to look like a fucking, like a Mars rover prototype.
Right.
This was described as, and you tell me if this is good, you think, for Elon and the company, Tesla truck reveal disaster. That's how they described.
This is literally, somebody once said to me, what would happen if Prince Andrew was a truck?
This has happened, though, in computer stuff. Like I think when they introduced Windows, didn't something bad happen with that? And then it happened with Steve Jobs too. Remember something couldn't
Maybe couldn't get Wi-Fi or something.
There's a difference between a little
Glitch.
hiccup and an indestructible car being destructed in front of you.
Yeah, this
It's
was
doing the
terrible.
exact thing that you just said it wouldn't do.
Because you can't move on from the visual of look at he has his hands in his pocket. When your thumb is out, when your hands are in your pocket and your thumb is out, that's not an authoritative pose. And there's two shattered black windows, and the fucking asshole friend said, "Let's do the back one," thinking that would fix it, and now he can't stand in front of it.
Do you remember?
He's so pissed at Franz right now.
He wants Franz. He's hoping that Franz is getting a cancer diagnosis.
He's gonna put that metal ball in a sock and just go to town on Franz right after this.
He's gonna give him the old Tweety and Viking from Bad Boys. Bunch of fucking soda cans.
He's sleeping, the Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah,
beating
oh,
the
yeah.
shit out of his ribs.
Hey, Franz, got any more ideas?
It was just a bad test idea, fat boy.
Do you remember when someone's last day at Nancy Grace when she was talking and they all hated her, so they just put on. It was two animals fucking in the middle of her. She's
Yes,
like,
I
"Go
do.
to this."
It's awesome.
I mean, that's beautiful. I love shit
Awesome.
like that.
But yeah,
but that was intentional. This
is worse. Also because before those windows broke, the reaction was like, "What is that monstrosity on stage?" People weren't
Right.
going like, "Oh, what a beautiful truck! I got to get that in
Right.
my driveway." People were already going, "That truck looks fucking ridiculous." And then he broke the glass on it.
That'd be great if right after it broke, two like Japanese sex slaves just came out of the trunk. And
Yeah, it really makes that steampunk guy that was dropping the ball onto the glass earlier look weak.
Yeah.
Franz has a hell of an arm on him, huh?
Yeah. Or if the window broke and there was a picture of Elon and Jeffrey Epstein in the backseat.
Why wouldn't they test it? Why wouldn't they actually throw something against this
How
window?
did they not do that? I mean, they should have literally, before the audience came in, they should have had a major league pitcher hurling that fucking
Yes.
ball. If it's going to be bulletproof, then again, bulletproof, I don't know if bulletproof means it doesn't shatter, it won't penetrate.
Right.
So maybe bulletproof, it might be bulletproof, like a bullet might not
Here's the
go
thing.
in, but it still might shatter.
If that's true, don't throw a metal ball at it to demonstrate it.
Or say it will shatter, but the ball won't go through.
That's
like
a terrible-
nothing will go
for the
through.
next test, they should be like, "This is bulletproof. We put a person in there. I'm gonna shoot it."
Yeah. Look at this. We have Elon's infant nephew behind the window, and we're going to shoot it.
It's a terrible demonstration.
Yeah,
People's
it's bad.
understandings of physics are not good enough that if you said, "Hey, we're going to throw this metal ball at the window and it will shatter, but don't worry, it doesn't go through, which means you're safe." People are like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Elon? What are you talking about?" No, here's what Elon. It feels like he just made this one car. Like if you're ready to announce it to the world and take the down payments, even if they're only $100, make 4 cars.
When are they looking at having this ready?
At this point,
Like,
I
have
no
they
idea.
said? Did they have a 2021?
Well. Are they still doing
Work on the
self-driving
windows
cars?
right now.
Isn't the thing anymore, right?
Not yet. Oh, it's going to be the thing. It's going to be all the thing.
Before flying cars, you think they'll be self-driving?
Oh,
cars?
yeah.
There'll
Really?
probably never be
Sure.
flying cars.
They'll
Never?
No, because the airspace, people would fly, look at each other's windows. I mean, it's going to be a nightmare. They're going to have self-driving cars very
But didn't
soon.
they kill someone in like an early thing with Uber?
Hell yeah.
Maybe, but so what? And not to say so what, but how many fucking other regular drivers have killed people?
Yeah.
Like, the odds are every time a self-driving car hits something, oh my God. But it's going to probably be 1/1000th of the accidents that happen with regular people driving.
Maybe.
So if someone steps out in front of a self-driving car, they might get hit,
Well, here's what'll happen though.
but it's not going to get drunk. It's not going to veer off the road.
But it's not an issue it's an issue for the companies because
Sure.
if
Right.
a self-driving car made by Google runs over your aunt, you can sue Google for a lot of money.
Or
Well,
pay
yeah,
them, depending on your aunt.
There'll obviously be a way of they'll have insurance for the lawsuits. I
Yeah,
mean,
they'd have to
sure.
have a lot of insurance.
They
That
will.
Yeah.
that I'm sure more than the technology, companies figuring out the liability insurance on robot cars running people over is probably what the hiccup is in
I
self-driving
can't
cars.
wait until they exist. They'll all be communicating.
Right.
Fucking, they'll know where each one is turning. There'll be less
You're
traffic.
just mad at Uber drivers. That's why you want self-driving cars.
Dude, no, it's just gonna be safer, and fucking traffic will be less. They won't have to wait for the light to go. Like
Do you
when
get
the
mad
light.
at Uber drivers?
No. I mean, sometimes.
What do
It's
you mean?
in
Sometimes every day.
No, I mean when they babble like the guy who babbled today while I was trying to watch a Gilda Radner clip.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll have.
It feels like it's the shittiest job being an Uber driver.
Yeah, it's a rough way to make a living.
It'll be great. We'll have less Uber drivers, less traffic, and homeless people everywhere.
Sean in Montreal, boy,
because they won't be able to work.
That's true.
What's up, Sean?
Hey, so people on the internet are saying that Elon probably did this on purpose just to make Cybertruck go trending.
No.
And then it's going to be like a Sonic the Hedgehog kind of effect where they fix it afterwards and it's better than before.
You know who said that? Elon started that fucking rumor.
Yeah.
Oh, we meant for that to happen. You could tell how shaken he is by this.
And Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, but it's really easy for an engineer to calculate like what could shatter the glass.
Here's the thing about Sonic
There's
the
no
Hedgehog. They've now spent over $100 million making this. You have a cough button
on the air.
I don't know why you do that. They've now spent $100 million making Sonic the Hedgehog. It is not going to make $100 million.
I disagree.
Who wants to see a Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
Everyone I know.
Kids don't care about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, it's weird when they make these nostalgia
Thank you,
pieces.
Sean.
Like even I was a kid for that. I don't give a shit.
No, of
Like,
course not.
Who
I
cares
know.
about Sonic?
I want to see Pac-Man the musical. Fucking assholes, let it go.
But I want it to be like a rapping musical. you
Yeah.
know? like Miss Pac-Man's cool. You
Whoa,
know?
Pac-Man is hip. Yeah, I don't think there's any way that this was done on purpose.
No, I agree. It was not.
You know, this was
That's a disaster.
Elon completely fucking up.
Yeah, or his engineers. I mean, it was not his fault.
Yeah, why would you want your stock to?
You
To
wouldn't.
drop. It doesn't
Didn't
make
want
any
it
sense.
to.
Didn't want
Yeah.
it to.
The
Didn't
window
want it to
broke.
go
I
up.
wanted it to break.
Elon goes in the back. He's in like the back room, and some guy's just tied up like the Gimp in Pulp Fiction. He's like, "Oh, someone's gonna fucking pay."
And I'm sure the truck. I'm sure they'll fix that, whatever it is. But I don't know
Yeah,
what
I would
bulletproof
hope
is
so.
supposed to look like.
Well, it's not supposed to look like that. It's a terrible demonstration.
No, but if it's bulletproof, like if a window is shot, maybe that's what they do. They're probably different layers of glass.
Maybe,
one will
maybe
shatter.
you don't find that out during the demo.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you feel safe if you're getting shot at. Like they should find a way to make it just not.
Or don't throw a big metal ball at it
Or
in an
shoot
auditorium.
it. Or shoot it and show how the bullet doesn't go through.
I don't think you can fire guns off at
pretty
public
sure you
demonstrations.
Why can't you?
Laws about firing guns in public places?
What if the bullet ricochets into the crowd?
Well, then you
that would be a disaster.
you obviously
That would
have
be
it in a way where that's not going to happen. You figure that out. You're building a car that can do what? It can do a gynecological exam on you, and you can't figure out how to.
You're saying that the company that just shattered their unbreakable windows on live streaming should have used a gun, and they would have just figured out how
Sure.
not to make it a disaster.
Didn't go through.
It was still a disaster.
Or they could have taken video of a bullet being fired. Like, again, maybe not doing the moment, but you show video of a fucking it being shot. That's how you demonstrate bulletproof.
Nobody cares about a video. I mean, they'd go like,
bulletproof is a big.
yeah, but if you show a video of bulletproof, they go, "Oh, cool, you made a CGI movie where
Nah, I think people
windows
would,
look bulletproof."
I think people would take it for what it was.
Who's allowed to buy? Can anyone buy a bulletproof car?
Sure.
That feels like it should be against the law.
Why? You know the car should be bulletproof?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. Because what if you're like a shooter and you just like, and you start.
Oh, I got you. So you make your car where there's a little hole in. Well, first of all, I don't know what your plans are, Sam.
I'm saying I don't think they should get away with that shit.
I mean, yeah. That's a stretch, though. I mean.
Oh, it's pulling another truck? What are they both going against each other?
Yes, they're saying that that's how powerful that Elon's space truck is.
Oh, wow.
That it can pull another truck.
That's a big truck, too.
While the first truck is running.
See, if that was a car, I would like it. Like, if there was all that room to sit inside in the back and take a nap while your self-driving car is guiding you to where you're going.
He's gonna have to do a video like this next time.
Like
he
an
can't do
SUV?
He can't do an actual demonstration. He's gonna have to have like another.
Just saying yes, like an SUV.
I want something that there's room in there. You can lay down.
I saw a car that's like bigger.
They make those cars.
You can't lay down while it drives. I want a car that will take me somewhere while I edge.
Cruise control, my good man.
You want the Tesla Edge?
Oh, man.
That'd be so nice. You have your Skype conversations. Hey, I'm on my way to work. Conference call. Where are you? I'm on Route 80.
Look, if we could get
Hold on, pipe it in, Bill. I love it.
if we can get what's his name to give us $1,000 a month, then fine. We can have self-driving cars.
38 minutes they made Andrew Yang wait on fucking piece of shit MSNBC before they asked this guy a question.
Really?
Boy, these fucking networks are disgusting.
Yeah, they are.
How does anybody think Trump is wrong about the press? Even if you hate him, He's 100% right about the press. They're Democrats. They're fucking.
I mean, I don't think that's what Trump's pointing out.
He's saying that the press is kind of corrupt and they're frauds, and he's right. He's 100% right. The fact that they're giving Tulsi Gabbard no questions.
That is crazy that Tulsi Gabbard gets no. I know, they pointed another thing out that Cory Booker, like, they never say that he's a Rhodes Scholar. But they'll talk about that for Pete Buttigieg all day.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've just decided who they want. You know what I mean?
Mayor Pete's. But look, I mean, the networks aren't in control like they used to be. You know what I mean? Like they used to be that we could have that conversation, but what was on the network is what stuck. Now, because of the internet,
now it's being pointed out.
It's being pointed out, and I mean,
which is probably good.
Mayor,
but at least
Mayor Pete's trending today because he doesn't care about black people.
No, he was just talking about how much he wanted to get black voters.
Yeah, he was talking about that, but today he's trending because there's a big article on The Root about how he doesn't understand black people's problems, and that
maybe.
And
I also think the fact that he's gay is an issue.
It could be
in that community. I think so.
Probably.
People don't want to say it.
But he'd also be the first presidential candidate probably that met his partner on Hinge. That's never happened.
Is that where they met?
Yeah, that's where they met.
Is that what they're saying? Do we really believe that? That's the app he's using?
Gay dudes use Hinge.
That's not the where you met your partner. I know which app you were on.
Yeah, there's a big article trending that says, I think it's called Mayor Pete is a lying MF.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's an opinion piece, obviously, but it's talking about how he went on and he did an interview where he said that the reason minority communities are underrepresented in education is because they don't have role models to look up to, that the education system has not historically worked for them. So young.
What about Black Panther?
Well, you would think. So that young people can't look at people in their communities that education has worked for, and that's what needs to change. But a lot of black people are pointing out, like, why aren't you talking about the underfunding? Why aren't you talking about any of the actual issues that you yourself can control? And they're saying he's whitening the problems.
Right.
Well,
he's white.
He is white. He's very white. Very white.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, if you're a white dude, you got to talk about that carefully, and it's just,
I also think people are sick and tired of hearing about school funding.
Right.
That's every problem goes down to school funding, and that's not always the problem. I'm sure it's part of it, but it's not always the entire problem. It's just throwing money at something is not always the fucking fix.
Yeah, but there are schools that need money.
Sure, a lot of schools need money, but that's always the answer. We have to fund education. It's like, yeah, I know you do, but there's also certain problems. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the school.
But that's actually something that he could control.
Yeah.
As president, you know what I mean?
I don't think he's lying. He just didn't give the right answer on an issue, or he maybe didn't give a complete answer. That doesn't mean he's a liar and deserves 0% fucking.
Well, a lot of white people feel that way. That's why he's doing well with white voters. That's not his problem.
He's doing well in Iowa.
Yeah. His issue right now is not white voters.
But I mean, no one's going to talk about the fact that he's gay, and there's probably there's plenty of homophobia in the white community too. I mean,
totally.
But don't act like it's not a big thing in the black community.
It is.
A gay white guy is probably not the number one option.
Yeah, whoever runs against Trump, if it's Bernie, it's going to be anti-Semitism. If it's Pete Buttigieg, it's going to be like a lot of this shit. He's like, this guy likes it in the butt, and that's going to blow Trump up.
How will Trump how will he control himself from mentioning that?
He won't. And it's going to work for him, unfortunately.
I don't think Trump can stop himself from making at least one gay joke.
Do you remember when Trump was he made the comment, he just straight up called Carly Fiorina ugly?
Yes, I do.
And her big soundbite was like, I think the American people hear him loud and clear. And it was her big, I was like, oh, wow. And then it was like Trump just kept going up. He can call a woman ugly to her face, and it helped his numbers.
He implied that Ted Cruz's dad might have been responsible for the JFK assassination. He heavily implicated Jeb Bush's brother in 9/11. He held George W. Bush responsible for September 11th.
Hold on, we have a hilarious person on the phone from Kentucky.
Chip in Kentucky.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're hitting it right on the head with the bullet-resistant glass.
Jim and Chip see eye to eye.
For the first time.
Well,
usually they're at odds with each other.
Sam, I called you all the time on your night show. Chip, baby metal obsessed Chip here.
Ah, yes,
You haven't
Chip.
heard me in a while.
Chip is obsessed with the band. He's a trucker who's obsessed with the young Asian girls who sing heavy metal, baby metal. It's a weird one.
Well, they're not so young anymore. They're all over 20 now.
Chip, you sound like a real fucking creep.
Yeah,
I
I've
gotta
been a
tell
fan
you.
for 10 years. So what are you saying about the bullet test?
Okay, bullet-resistant glass is because there's no such thing as bulletproof. Okay, it's bullet resistance. You can look up on YouTube, on Google, and you can read all about it. It depends on the thickness of the glass, okay, as far as what it's going to stop. Take like the presidential limo.
Chip.
He's got armored glass.
Chip, I understand.
Okay?
Well, hold on, what's
That
armored glass?
glass is inches
Oh,
thick.
my God.
It's the same. It's bullet-resistant glass. That's what they call it. It's not bulletproof.
Right.
There's no such thing as bulletproof.
But does it shatter the way Elon's did when a bullet hits it, like where it stops the bullet, but you can still see it's been shot?
Nobody cares if
Yeah.
the glass is actually bullet resistant or not. The point is that he threw a metal ball at it and it shattered. If you are going to throw a metal
But it
ball
doesn't
at your
mean-
But I
Chip,
still want to know if it's bulletproof.
Chip, if you're going to
Bullet-resistant
Chip,
does not mean
Chip,
it's not going to break.
Chip, if you throw a metal ball at a car window in a demonstration, you should know that your car can withstand metal balls being thrown at it. That's the beginning,
It was,
middle, and
it was
end.
definitely a bad demonstration. But the point is, would it have been better if they had somehow demonstrated it was bulletproof and that this is what happens when you shoot it and it happens, the bullet doesn't penetrate, but it will still shatter one of the layers of the... Like, you
Right.
couldn't do it in the room, but this would not have been a disaster if they showed that happening while shooting at it and saying the bullet won't penetrate.
They should have made that a steampunk guy sit in the car, and then they would try to shoot him while he was sitting in the car.
Yes.
And if he comes out without a bullet in his head, good. And if he gets shot in the head,
And I'll bet
still
you,
good.
I'll bet you that the next time they do that test, he will be in the car where they shoot through it.
I'll bet
This is how
Franz
we
will be in
should-
there
This is how
too.
we should instill the death penalty. We should just try technology on them, and
Yeah.
if they live, they make it out.
You make it out. So you're saying that
Oh, I hung up
if
on
you-
him. I thought we were.
oh no, I wanted to ask if you shoot, will it still show that it's been shattered? Like
He
will
said, yeah, I think.
Okay,
Yes, he
that's
did.
what it will look
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
it gets shot.
Yeah. But it looks bad in a demonstration.
Well, the ball, yeah.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have looked bad if they told you this won't penetrate. Like if they were concentrating on penetration, shattering would look okay.
Anything besides throwing a big metal ball at a window live in front of people saying this won't break and then it breaks would have looked better.
That was bad.
Yes.
It was a
You could have
disaster.
thrown hot dogs at it. It would have looked better.
It was a disaster.
Yeah. I'm glad that, Sam, you're going back on the road. And that's
Yeah.
because I, like a lot of people, have gotten used to you doing morning news show appearances,
yeah.
and I've really been enjoying them quite a bit. I think that you've been doing really great.
A lot of people don't know that a lot of these clubs require us to do, and some of the radio shows make sense, but the morning TV doesn't make sense because
Right.
no one,
Yes.
unless I drive it off the rails, no one's going to see it.
So, how do the clubs feel when you do this? Like when you go on the morning shows and you make a mockery of them, clearly you're not even attempting to have a good appearance
Well,
on
the
these.
first one that was in Kentucky, and he was laughing. The club guy. I think the tickets usually go up when I do stuff like this. So, and then the one in Pittsburgh over the weekend, everyone liked it except like the marketing guy. He was
Right.
like, "This is a bad look," and I was
Oh
just like,
God, fucking shut up.
But the tickets go up.
Yeah, the tickets went way up because it was just like, and of course the producer would not give me a clip, so I had to just tweet like, "Did anyone record this by chance?"
Yeah.
And someone did. Thank
Yeah,
God.
you asked the producer and he said no.
Yeah, she was like,
Well, here's the first. Well, let me play the first one first.
Well, I really sounded like an annoying liberal. She.
I plowed right ahead knowing you're lying.
No, this one was in
This is in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay, this is great.
This is a real bomb.
Yeah.
I was just in Portland, very sensitive people. I think it's a lack of protein. But I went in there, you know what happened to me? I went to the club and this guy was like, I got those 3 hot women in. And I was like, thank you very much. And he said, it takes a woman like me to get them in. And he had a 5 o'clock shadow like me. And I was like, you're a guy though, right? And he said, excuse me? And I was like, oh no.
Hey,
Like,
you
I
were
made a
in trouble
mistake.
then,
I
weren't you?
know. And I said, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And he said, screw you. You made a mistake. And I said, I can clearly see that you're a woman now because you're furious at me and I have no idea why.
Yeah, okay, keep pondering that one. We're glad you're here, though.
That's why nobody watches those shows.
She was so annoyed at you.
She's awful.
That's
Keep
such a
pondering
great,
that one.
I like how dismissive it was, though. Just not even just letting me bomb. She had to make me feel bad about the bomb too.
Like you're a bad person. She probably did represent a good portion of the type of people that would watch that show, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, but that's why I don't want to go on those shows unless I drive it off the rails, because I feel like the only time it's going to help, they're doing it to help ticket sales, and I said, well, the only type of people that I'd want at the shows are the people that would enjoy me making this show a mess.
Right, like imagine the people that would react like that going to your comedy show.
Yeah,
it would be a disaster.
They're going to hate me. So if you're going to make me do these shows, I'm going to make them entertaining for me.
So then what city was this one
This was over this weekend in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so you're in Pittsburgh. The audio is funky on it because somebody just like recorded it with their phone, pointing it at a TV. But it's the only footage that exists because...
Yeah, they won't give it to me.
What did she say when you asked her?
She said, we're going to give like CBS lawsuit stuff. Like she's like, we'll get. I think most people are like, I'm not going to risk my job to get you a clip where you say something horrible on TV.
Right? Yeah, you embarrass the station.
Yeah.
Always been funny. Like, did you know growing up, hey, I might be a stand-up comedian despite what the odd chart says?
No, I wasn't always funny, but when I was young, I was molested by an uncle, and that gave me superpowers to be funny because he was funny. So it's kind of like a Spider-Man origin story, you know?
Okay.
I don't know if you could hear it, but Sam Morril said that he was molested by an uncle when he was young. And his uncle was funny, and that gave him superpowers to be funny himself.
And he wasn't even saying that, like, hey, that forced me to react and be funny. He was just saying that basically his uncle fucked humor into him.
Right, that's exactly right. And
After the interview, she said, did that really happen? I was like, no, it was a fucking joke. You asked me a stupid question. I was just trying to make it entertaining. I don't know.
But I love that you do it completely straight face. So there's nothing. What could they have done to get out of that?
There's nothing. But they also, like, so many of these times when you do these shows, they ask you the same fucking questions. And it's like, you got to, it's just boring. I'm on 2 hours sleep here. What else am I going to do, you know?
Yeah. The next time I'm on one of these shows, they ask me why am I funny, I'm going to say I was molested by Sam Morril's uncle.
But you're seriously, every time you do this, like, you know, you do shows the night before, so then you just can't sleep after a show. So I'm up to like 4 a.m. and then you have press at like 6 or 7 a.m. Did 2 radio spots, and I did this at like 9 or 10 a.m. So I'm on no sleep, and it's the same fucking question.
It's
where
awful.
It's like, have you always been funny? Oh, I saw you used to intern on the Colbert Show, and I'm like, oh, you read one sentence of a Wikipedia page. I used to have it. I mean, you guys do interview shows where you ask thorough questions to your guests and stuff, and it's like, it's amazing that this is your fucking job, and it's the same lazy shit.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So I have to do this.
I love
that
ask
you do
me
it
about my motive, like being from Bayonne. That's just great comedy.
Tell me about Bayonne.
I was born there. Left when I was young.
You know, you live in New York City now, but that's not where you were born. You're originally from Bayonne, is that right?
That's correct. Yeah. My father fucked my mother in a car in Jersey City in 1967.
Okay.
And I fell out of her cunt in Bayonne.
Okay. All right. Nice talk for a morning show. You know, we've got people eating breakfast.
I should have said, do you have any metal balls you can throw at my face instead of asking these questions?
Yes, or soft fleshy ones.
So what's the vibe like from the staff when you do stuff like this? Are they
the
all...
cameramen were laughing really hard off
course.
camera,
That's what I would think.
Of course, but then the producer was not happy. It was a very solemn walk out to my
Did they say
car.
thanks for coming?
No. They were not thrilled with that. And I tried to play dumb, and I was like, hey, can I get that clip by any chance, to the producer? And she was like, no. There's no
of
way.
course you cannot
You're not
get
getting
that
that clip.
No.
And I thought I was bummed because I was like, oh man, that was a pretty fun moment, and it'll never see the light of day. And then, of course, some guy in a hospital was just videotaping it. He was I don't know if he's visiting like a dying relative or something, but he messaged like, hey.
That's why there's all that background noise and everything.
Yeah.
Sure. This fucking woman next to us being Olivia Soprano's going, close the curtain. Close the curtain.
Someone's getting a pillow over their head, over their face.
Yeah, the angel of death is fucking a senior citizen, smothering her.
Oh, it's so great. Now, and I mean, how do you ensure that you can get these recorded? Like, it's not even, you can't DVR them.
You have to have someone do it. I know, it's hard.
They're all local.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy.
No.
Although at least, like, if I'm going to be miserable, I may as well have some fun doing
Just
these.
bring everybody down with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm the worst I have terribly unfunny answers.
Do you try to drive them off the rails, or are you just...
No.
Trust me, I know.
It just didn't taste fresh. Well, that was legit. That was good stuff.
Jim and I were on Bar Rescue.
Were you really?
Yes, we were.
Yeah. Dude, do you ever see my favorite Bar Rescue episode ever is have you seen the Howard Hughes stand-up Scottsdale one?
No.
It's insane. This guy, I play that club multiple times too, and I mean, Howard was like a fucking former Marine.
Yes, I have seen that one.
Dude,
yes, I love it.
He also had a stroke because he had like 14 Red Bulls and did a ton of coke. So it's the least sympathetic stroke you could ever have.
Yeah.
No one even feels bad for him. But then I was at his club once. And so I did his club when it was good. And then, of course, he didn't listen to John Taffer and it was fucking garbage. And next time I'm there, no mention of this in the advance. The club is in the back of a Mexican restaurant. It was a beautiful club.
Wow.
Now he's like, oh, it's here now. And I was like, it's in a fucking Mexican restaurant.
Because it went out of business.
Yeah, so I'm doing shows in a Mexican restaurant. Night one, he would do like 30 minutes of material, the owner. And it was just him being like, you guys aren't drinking enough. Drink more alcohol. It was horrible.
It's just sales pitches.
And then he would do shit about like how Catholicism was bullshit. so it'd be like from like shitty bar manager to like Bill Hicks ripoff. And then he'd bring me on stage and dude, 10 minutes into my set, a guy in the front row has a stroke.
Oh my God.
Where I'm like an idiot, where I'm like, I guess I'm killing pretty hard. This guy knocked over a glass. And she said, no, he's having a stroke. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I stopped the show and I said, someone call an ambulance. And Howard, the guy from Bar Rescue, runs out. And he starts doing shtick with the guy having a stroke. He's on stage and he's like, so where are you from? And she goes, please, he's having a stroke. Please. And he goes, he's trying to be funny. And he's like, no, it's cool. I've had a stroke. And I was like, yeah, he's like, having a real stroke.
Right. Are they calling an ambulance though?
He called an ambulance and then he went up and I had to be like, dude, get the fuck off stage.
I love that the instinct is like, well, it's going to take 5 minutes for the ambulance to arrive. Let me provide some entertainment for the folks.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Let me work out some new shit.
Is the guy dead or alive who had the stroke?
I think he seemed all right when he was leaving. He gave a thumbs up. But,
one thumbs up.
Yeah.
By the way, how is fucking? I heard Bagel Boss, Chris Morgan had a stroke.
What?
And yeah, he did like a week or two ago. And
I haven't heard anything from the Bagel Boss camp.
I followed up a little bit, and it said that it looks like he's still numb on the left side, but he can talk a little bit, and he's aware, he's awake. But his left side is still fucked up.
It says he's on the mend in the more recent article.
God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, his left side is still fucked up.
He's getting better.
Yeah. But that's the worst when the whole left side is shut down.
Wow, it's not the worst. It's very bad.
It's worse when you get a bad service in a bagel shop.
Yeah, I hate that
that's
too.
true. When they see,
That's worse.
They're laughing at you for ordering egg whites, that's where it gets really bad.
What a weird. It's like this guy. What a weird year he's had. Because he had like kind of a pop.
Year. Like weird, like
6 weeks?
3 months, yeah. Maybe.
God, and he was doing stand-up?
Yeah, we had him on the show a bunch.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a great stand-up.
And he got along with Chip famously.
Yeah, he was like a Stephen Wright guy, right? He was like dry one-liners?
Yes, a lot of dry wit. Yes.
Yeah. It's a small world, and I'd like to kill every fucking woman in it.
Were there actually women? I remember he said, were there actually women hitting him up from that video? I'm sure. No.
There's probably a few, but he would get probably not the ones he wanted, and then he would get very attached to porn girls, which I get. You've never been around them.
Yeah.
And their whole job is to make you think they want to fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're doing their job.
Well, no, but even in conversation, they're just sexy.
Yeah.
Like Mary Jean or fucking when Sarah they're just sexy women, and they make you think that they don't. But it's just their whole persona, their whole...
They have a sexual energy.
They have a sexual energy.
So you
They're
don't
sexy
pick up
people,
with normal, day-to-day women.
So young to have a stroke, 45.
He's very angry. I don't know if you heard.
I believe he's diabetic, too. I think he's diabetic, and that really... high blood pressure...
Lots of bagels.
I don't know how diabetes forces, what that does for a stroke, what it causes that makes you have a stroke.
Damn.
Well, luckily, you're not a doctor.
I'm not diabetic either. I have low blood pressure.
Fantastic.
Very low.
Everything is coming up Norton. Sam Morril is going to be at Hilarities in Cleveland this weekend, Friday and Saturday. You can check him out at Hilarities. You can also listen to the Keeping Joe podcast with Sam, Joe Mackey, and Phil Hanley every single week on iTunes. Go to sammorril.com, MORRIL, for all his dates. He's headed to Rochester, then he's headed to Chicago. A lot going on. And if you're in any of the markets where Sam is playing, make sure the Friday before you're scanning through morning TV and you got that recorder on.
Sure.
Because you might find a gem for us.
Please help me.
I'm really enjoying them.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to be Caroline's 12, 13, 14 of this month of December. Sorry.
Nice.
And I got a text from Colin Quinn.
I haven't heard from Colin in a while.
Sam, dressed like Angus Young being beaten, is an image that the fans must recreate.
He must have been listening when the Queen called in, I guess.
Yeah, Colin heard it.
Well, we're going to take a break. When we get back, Sam, you're sticking around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane from WWE.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's a
coming
mayor.
in. He's now the mayor of Knox County.
What?
Yeah, he's a very smart guy. He's a libertarian.
Dude, I mean, I love Kane.
The politician or the wrestler?
I don't know his politics, but as a wrestler, I was always a fan.
I don't know his wrestling, but I'm interested to talk politics.
Yeah.
Well, I think, you know what I mean? I think we're going to find a nice middle ground.
He's a mayor.
He's a mayor.
I remember when he and X-Pac were tearing it up.
That's right.
Yeah, dude.
He's a mayor. He's also the Big Red Machine. And the
I don't know
Devil's...
what that means.
He's a mayor. Oh, you know who like his nickname? He's the Devil's favorite demon.
I like it.
Fuck yeah!
That was a good one. We'll be right back.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. And now, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts return.
Welcome back. Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Sam Morril is sitting in with us. Sam Morril is going to be at Hilarities in Cleveland Friday and Saturday. So if you're in Cleveland, get out to Hilarities and make sure you're part of the action, man. Okay, are we going to flirt or are we going to let our guest in?
You tell me.
No, I'm going to blame Travis on this one.
This is Travis's fault.
This one's Travis's fault.
I took a picture and I'm calling it Action Travis.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
I would say it's a safe bet. Probably what's going on. The tallest mayor in America for sure.
You would fuck up Pete Buttigieg, man. Crazy.
Glenn Jacobs. Hey. Kane. However you know him. He's here in
morning.
Studio with us.
How are y'all?
Have you done research to make sure that you are the physically biggest mayor in America?
So there is a mayor from another county in rural Tennessee that he's a pretty big cat. I think he's my height.
Really?
He's a big dude. Yeah, we could add something to the Tennessee Volunteers offensive line.
Did you play football ever or no?
I did. I played at Truman State University.
What'd you play?
Offensive tackle. Of course.
Yeah.
There's only one position, right?
Giant lineman,
yeah.
So at what point in your life did you start to get politically motivated? And I don't even mean like thinking that this would be a career. I more mean get interested in it because you've been talking about economics and politics for a long time.
Yeah, really, I've always been that way ever since I was a kid. I've been interested in history. Social studies was probably my favorite class when I was in school. So I've always been interested to some extent. Going through college, get exposed to some different ideas, and then you get out in the real world, and you find out, gosh, government takes a lot of money from us. What does it do with it? And sometimes it doesn't do very good stuff with it. So, just throughout my life, I've always been somewhat interested. I never would have considered running for elected office. In fact, at a point I said that I never would ever. Why would anyone ever want to do that? And then I changed my mind.
What's the biggest surprise you've had? Like, since you get elected, are you like, all right, the government, I'm going to make a difference? Like, what's been the biggest thing? Like, oh God, that works that way? That's awful.
Well, I don't know if there's been any surprises in that respect, because I went in, rather, don't want to say cynical, but I think a realist about how government operates.
Okay.
And it does go slow, and there actually is a reason for that. We want accountability, we want transparency, and that sort of thing. Seriously, my biggest surprise is how much fun it is. And it really is. It's a blast. I have a lot of fun doing this.
I mean, you've done a lot of fun things for a living.
Yeah, that's very
and
true.
And this is still like...
But I also think everything's what you make of it.
Yeah.
And if you concentrate, I mean, everybody's going to have issues. We understand that, and if you concentrate on that all the time, that's what you're going to, that's how are you going to feel about things. But if you concentrate on the positives and trying to have an impact and trying to do things, you think are constructive and doing those in the right way, that's what that's how your kind of paradigm emerges, and that's what I try to do.
So when you decide you're going to run, do you start painstakingly going through your wrestling career to figure out, okay, what clips are they going to play out of context in commercials that I'm going to have to explain to this county?
Well, I mean,
Do you want your mayor doing this? And you're dropping your leg on someone's throat.
Yeah, well,
he said your mayor set a woman on fire.
Well, here's the thing. I think yeah, you worry about that stuff, but I also hope that people are mature enough to understand that that's entertainment.
Well, Schwarzenegger got elected, so like,
right. And also, I think the stereotype has changed now, which is a good thing. But yeah, it's always like someone's going to say this or that, and you did have people saying that. In the end, you just have to, whatever.
It's also got to be nice too, that like since you're Kane, it's like so super character driven,
right?
That you're like, I'm not the Undertaker's brother.
Right.
I don't wear a red mask.
Right.
I'm not related to Paul Bearer in any way. Like this is clearly a soap opera.
I always say that most politicians are trying to convince people that the politician is the person they see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
In many cases, I was trying to convince them that I'm not the person.
I personally couldn't separate Senator Brutus the Barber Beefcake from regular.
If you come out with garden shears and all that stuff, probably not.
How many candidates have Undertaker and Rand Paul? On
That's
the back
pretty
of the
cool.
book?
Right? Cool. It's very unique. It's unconventional to say the least.
Yes, and they're both saying the same thing. He hits hard. Why libertarian? Like the first time I ever voted was, and he wasn't a libertarian, but was for Ross Perot because he was independent, and I felt like I wanted somebody who wasn't a Democrat or a Republican. Were you always a libertarian, or was that like kind of like Bloomberg is now going to run as a Democrat, but he was a Republican in New York, where you just kind of want to make a difference? So whichever.
I mean, for me, the Republican Party it's getting better with people like Rand Paul, but it kind of left its roots, which was the pro-freedom, pro-opportunity party. And that's really when I talk about libertarianism as a philosophy, and it's a philosophy that people should be able to act freely so long as they're not hurting anyone else. The government should leave them alone. And I think that most people can relate to that. I was a big fan of Ross Perot, because if you look at what Ross Perot was saying fiscally for the country, he called it right. And at the time, I think we had a little over $1 trillion in debt, and he's showing these graphs and stuff, and people didn't take it seriously. Well, now we have $23 trillion in debt and a lot of fiscal issues. So, I was a big fan from the fact that he actually told things like they were and wasn't sugarcoating things.
He fell apart a little bit at the end.
Yeah, he did. But he changed. For better or for worse, he changed some things too. And he really, the reason that we have a lot of the electoral system the way it is now is because of what Perot did, and the fact that the two parties wanted to make sure that couldn't happen again, that you could have a viable third-party candidate.
Everybody's got stories about Andre the Giant in wrestling and how he didn't like other giants, right? Because it threatened his spot as the Giant. So when you came into WWE as Kane, right, and you're there to fight the Undertaker, and you're just as big as him, and you're this demonic character, was there any of that in the Undertaker early on? Like,
no,
who was this guy?
He was my biggest advocate.
He loved it.
Yeah, because for a couple different reasons. I mean, we'd already known each other. In fact, our first match had been in Knoxville. I wasn't even in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He'd come down and done a match for Smoky Mountain Wrestling, so we knew each other. And then also, I think just the fact that Mark's a business guy, and he understands that he can draw money with someone like me. So he was the biggest advocate for the character. In fact, I remember once Vince McMahon telling me I was worried about something, and Vince said that Taker had come in. This did not relate to him, but I'd mentioned it to Taker, and Vince said, "Yeah, Mark's already talked to me about that, and I think he worries more about you than he does himself." So he was always a huge advocate of mine.
When you're a smart guy, right, as smart as you are,
I don't know, man.
You got a lot of information in your head, right? But character-wise and publicly, you have to do all your talking through a fake voice box to sound like a robot. Does it get frustrating when you're like, I want to be able to communicate with people?
It was. And I was so glad when Kane was finally able to talk, because also being under the mask and never talking added a lot of mystique and mystery to the character. At the same token, after people have seen it for a while, it gets stale, and you don't have that entertainment value that you have if you have that added dimension. So I was extremely happy when I was able to talk, and the voice box was kind of a trick because I had to use it. You couldn't, if you just used the voice box and didn't actually audibly say anything, audibly, I guess is a word, you couldn't understand it at all. So I had to figure out the right mix of where I could have my own voice and the modulation of the voice box to make it actually hear what I could say, but still have the effect that they wanted.
How long is your term as mayor?
4 years.
So when you're done with that, I know you don't know if you're going to like it for full time, but do you want to stay in politics? Just like Clint Eastwood did Carmel, California, and he did it, and then he went back to his acting life. Do you want to stay in politics and just get out of wrestling totally?
Man, I don't know what I want to do, seriously.
You should come back as Mayor Kane. That's the move.
That would be the most sinister character ever.
Strangle people with a tie.
Politician in WWE, right? No, I seriously don't know where I want to go.
Is Mayor Pete inspirational to you? Like, hey, this guy's a mayor, and all of a sudden he's in the national spotlight.
I mean, here's the thing: we put way too much emphasis on the federal government, and we forget how important state and local governments are. And you guys, of course, you know that in New York City. I mean, your city government here has a tremendous amount of power and influence over your lives. And for me, again, going back to the libertarian streak, the federal government's just way too powerful. And, I would rather I want small government. I would what I really want to see is much smaller government at the federal level and more power delegated back to the states and the localities.
Now, you know Rand Paul, you like Rand Paul. You might be able to explain this better because sometimes they report things. He was the guy, the one vote against green lighting the 9/11 healthcare bill.
Right.
But part of me is like, there's got to be more to it than him. Than him just saying no.
Yeah, exactly. What happened was he was all for it, but he also said, in order to pay for this, we have to determine how we're going to cut something somewhere else. And, he was all for the bill itself, but he was also for fiscal responsibility. And of course, what everybody in Washington does is like, oh, we have free money to hand out to everybody. So it wasn't that he was against it. He just said, we're spending way too much money. So let's figure out something else that we can cut, just like we would in our households, so that we can pay for this.
But that was, they criticize, and again, I'm not going with a personal criticism because I don't know enough about it. But they went after him and said, well, he didn't do that to corporations that were being cut billions of dollars. Is there a reasoning behind that?
As far as the tax cuts, I would argue, and I can't speak for him,
right.
But they had to, and what they weren't, I was all for the tax cuts as well, but they also would have had to have a spending cut, and we didn't see the spending cut. Tax cuts are always good because they do help keep money in the hands of the private industry. At the same point, the government has to, when you do a tax cut, it's not really a cut if you're funding it through deficit spending, which is what they do. So I would have argued that you need both.
Yeah, I just try not to react. I read something on Twitter, I'm like,
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's even it's both sides is the thing, and often people rail on a Republican for this and they rail on a Democrat for that, and you actually look at it and it's a little more complex than what comes across in 240 characters or 280 characters I guess on Twitter.
It was 140.
I don't even know my Twitter. My Twitter
it's doubled.
Yes.
Yes, I think 280. Right?
I'm pushing for 560.
Good for you. Yeah, I think that's what we need.
Writing War and Peace before you know it over there, man.
Yeah, more tweets, right?
Yeah.
Have guys come up to you and talk to you about getting into life outside of wrestling? I mean, because you obviously, for you to make such a successful transition, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be a big deal to a lot of people that are like, look, I'm going to wind down at some point, and at that point, what do I do when I can't wrestle anymore?
I haven't really had anyone come up to me for that per se, but my advice is always just realize that your wrestling career is not going to last forever, and take care of business and make sure that you've put some money aside, and at least have some sort of plan for afterwards. I think that plan is going to be different for everybody. I mean, Dwayne Johnson got into movies and he's been fairly successful.
Yeah, but he's bombing.
Yeah, and I don't think his checking account is, bro.
No, I'm kidding.
And John, exactly. And John Cena, John's getting movies, but John's doing like the comedy stuff as opposed to Dwayne's doing the action stuff.
Yeah.
What's Doink the Clown up to?
I don't know, actually.
That guy, man.
Who is that?
Doink the Clown?
Doink the Clown.
Yeah, he was a wrestling clown.
Yeah.
He was exactly as he sounds, actually.
Doink the Clown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although, I mean, look, you could have asked the same thing of what's Isaac Yankem DDS up to these days, and you'd be like, he's actually doing pretty well for himself.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what before Kane was Kane, he was the fake Diesel, and then before he was the fake Diesel, he was Isaac Yankem DDS.
See, I tapped out of that whole world after I Chief Jay Strombo lost his congressional bid.
Bob Backlund ran for Congress, too.
He did, right?
Yes.
He
Yes,
did.
he did.
And Stephanie, I mean, Vince's wife she did get elected,
Linda.
right?
Yeah,
she did not know.
She didn't get
Oh,
elected.
she ran, but she didn't get elected.
She was appointed as to the head of the Small Business.
Yes, there's a lot of people in politics.
Jesse
who
Ventura,
wrestlers.
right? Yeah, Jesse.
Oh, right, Jesse.
He was a mayor and then governor.
Yeah.
How did I forget him?
Yeah.
How do you know, right? So, like, Kane, obviously, one of the most successful wrestling characters of all time. But like we said, it's after a string of it's a hit after a string of misses.
Sure.
That you kind of know going in. You're like, okay, I got to make a wrestling dentist work. Okay, I got to make a.
And that was my exact reaction.
And then you go, what's next after this? Okay, I got to make a ripoff of one of the most beloved characters of all time. Now I got to make that work. When you go in to do Kane, are you going, finally this is it, or are you going, all right, let's see how long this one lasts?
No, it's finally this is it.
You knew.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I would say that and how they say that you don't really have mistakes and failures if you learn from them.
Yes.
And that's kind of what my first experiences really was that it gave me the tools that I needed and the experience that I needed to make Kane successful. And frankly, if I'd have had the Kane character initially, it wouldn't have done what it did, because I just wouldn't have been able to do that.
Do you think by that context there is anything you could have done to make the wrestling dentist work?
Not me personally.
What was the wrestling dentist?
He was an evil. What do you hate?
He was an evil dentist.
Yeah. Well, who do you hate more
Here's
than
the
anyone?
thing, man. You know, it's like other people got really cool, like rock guitar riffs, and I got a dental drill, right? And it was just that was not a character.
That's literally
this is
the
not a
theme
pun.
music.
I could not sink my teeth into that character. But it was also, I mean, that was the point where WWE was at, just kind of on their theme arc, right? We'd gone very PG at that point and very over the top character driven.
I want to see like an oncologist heel.
Anyway, just that's not something that I felt that I could pull off. But again, I mean, I did the best I could with it, and then the next.
And you're also
character
young,
came
and
along.
it's your
I
first
was young.
opportunity. So what are you going to say?
Yeah,
No,
exactly right. I mean, and hopefully, eventually, I knew that if I get my foot in the door, it could lead to something better, and it finally.
How many years did you wrestle?
Man, I started in 1990, or I guess the winter of 1991.
Oh, man.
Almost 30 years.
Was Kevin Nash pissed when you do the Diesel?
No, because everyone understands it's business.
Right, it's not like you went in and said, "Hey Vince, why don't you let me take?"
And also, we never made fun of. I mean, it was treated as a serious character. It wasn't like we made fun or ridiculed anything.
Right. What did you do that was that they're talking about?
It was a copy of another character.
Oh, a purposeful copy.
Yes.
So yeah, Kevin Nash played this character named Diesel in WWE.
You need to read the book, dude. It's all in there.
I literally, I got the book literally as you walked in. They handed me the book.
Kevin Nash left the company though. And he kind of portrayed the same type of character, but Vince was like, no, I own that character, and I'm going to prove that to everybody.
Right.
And he brought in Mr. Jacobs to go, now you'll play the character, which is an uphill battle, to say the least.
Yeah, it was. But and of course, Kevin was doing pretty good. He went to WCW, and he was doing okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any hard feelings. And, and also, its imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So
right.
You know.
How many years did you do Kane?
What's
How many
that?
years did you do this one?
Kane started in October of 1997.
Do the wrestling fans like my questions?
They probably think that some of them might be a little obvious.
A little rudimentary.
Yeah, a little.
Wrestling fans
little
get mad. I don't know
basic.
much about wrestling, but we talk to a lot of wrestlers, so I ask questions.
That's cool.
The hardcore guys get very mad at me.
I mean, you ask good questions about Rand Paul. You ask questions like a human being. I don't think there's, but yeah, there
But
are
the wrestling questions.
Hardcore wrestling fans do get upset, but sometimes Jim plays into that. We had Nikki Bella in here, and he asked her if John Cena was a wrestler, just to upset
Just to
people.
annoy them.
Yeah,
all the
just
wrestling bloggers.
just to get people upset.
Just poke the bear. Yeah.
What was of all the things that you did as Kane, what was the kind of, I don't know if I can pull this one off, because you did some of the stuff that you wouldn't think becomes iconic, like you saying "suck it" into a voice modulator, is become this iconic piece of tape, right? Like, what would you say the thing as Kane that you did is the most?
I don't know. There's favorite stuff and not so favorite stuff, and
Yes.
I try to kind of forget about the favorite stuff, not so favorite stuff. And when you've had a 20-some year career, there's always going to be stuff.
When they come to you and they say, we want you to be in a match where the only way to lose the match is to be set on fire.
Yeah.
And
I really wanted to win. Everybody remembers, okay, I'm going to give you a little wrestling history lesson here. So at King of the Ring 1998, Undertaker and Mick Foley have the Hell in the Cell match where Mick goes flying off the cell.
You know that
twice.
match.
Of course I do. Yeah.
What everybody forgets
I was
is
supposed to be there.
I won my first world championship that night against Stone Cold Steve Austin. And at the end of the match, what was supposed to happen and what eventually did happen was Mick Foley comes out and interferes, and Undertaker comes out and interferes, and that allows me to win. When Mick went through the top of the cage, he was in a not very good way.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this because the stipulation of the match was if I didn't win, I would set myself on fire, right?
Attitude Era was a wild time.
I really needed you to not fall through the cage.
Exactly. So Mick is laying out there crumbled a heap, and Mick's my buddy. We're all concerned. I'm like, oh man. And he starts moving. He's like, oh, it looks like he's okay. And then Vince looks at me. He's like, you're going to have to figure out what we're going to do in case he can't come back out. And I'm like, first of all, I'm like, me? You got all these people around, all these writers and stuff. Why you look at me? And then second thought was, oh my God, if I got to figure out a way I can win, or this is going to be a very short-lived, albeit spectacular ending, but I'm going to have to set myself on fire. I don't think I can do that one.
Right.
So
how do you set yourself on fire? Obviously it's not real.
Yeah.
But.
Now, and we had some Inferno matches where we did do stunts that included burns. And so we'd have Hollywood stunt coordinators come out and help us.
Were
with
you
that
really
stuff.
getting burned or no?
It's
mishaps
Hollywood.
happen, yeah.
Yeah, I never got seriously injured because we took the proper precautions. But nevertheless, you are dealing in a dangerous environment.
Yeah, you still got to walk out of an arena with an arm in flames.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and you're not you haven't spent your life training to be a stuntman.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's what's so unique about WWE is the fact that 1 second you're in a match, the next second you're doing a promo, the next second you might be on fire. You have to be able to keep all of that stuff going at the same time, and it's the ultimate in multitasking.
Does that lifestyle prepare you for I feel like even entering into politics or whatever you enter into, when you spend that much time in WWE, you're just in this mind state where whatever gets thrown at you, you just learn how to deal with it, make the most of it, and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's true. I've actually not really thought about that before.
Yeah.
But that's a great point, is you have to be very adaptable because we do so many different things. But also, I've had tons of media training. I've dealt with media now for going on 30 years. A lot of basically team building and backstage politics, and there's a lot of that. So it probably did prepare me pretty well. And yes, the adaptability and thinking basically I'm going to have to fake it until I make it. You have to do that.
When you say media training, do you mean like official media training? Like what do they tell you in media training? 'Cause I know people go through it and it helps. What do they say? Like,
You've never been media trained, Jim?
No, I literally just kind of, it's just so natural for me. It was a gift, but what do they say to you?
It was a gift. And you're so humble and modest.
What am I going to say? Jim, you just move people. What is media training like? Will they say avoid this, or if they ask you this, how do they train you?
Yeah, it is a lot of that. Learning to speak in sound bites, learning to get the information across and that sort of thing, learning how to deal sometimes with a hostile interviewer.
Speaking in sound bites.
Yes. Yeah, and everybody does. That's what we just say about Twitter, right? That's what you have to do nowadays, because you're only going to be on, if you're on camera, say in a segment, most cases you're not going to be on with a half an hour interview. It's going to be 15 seconds, maybe even 5 seconds.
How long is a sound bite? Did they tell you? Is it like just one sentence?
10 seconds.
I love that they tell you might have a hostile interviewer. Also, we might light you on fire sometimes.
Well, so you can deal with it. Exactly. How do you deal with, because basically context means everything, right? And, how do you deal with someone who wants to take take something that you're going to say completely out of context and wrap it around.
Make it hard for them to do that with a soundbite, right?
Exactly. I mean, you say specifically what you want to say and say it in a way that it can't be twisted, right? So it's just that sort of stuff. And also just learning to be comfortable. I mean, stuff like, when you go on camera, you button your jacket because that's what looks good and all those sort of things.
Do you like the president?
I think I'm like not like everyone. I like some things, and there's other things that I don't. I think the one thing that really, the overall thing is he's genuine in his own way, right? I mean, whether you like him or hate him.
So is Ted Bundy.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, he's not out there, and I think people are tired of the. They're tired of the career politicians and people just tell them what they want to hear. So that in that respect, I think that he could be a lot more diplomatic about a lot of things that he says, and I think that his Twitter account, sometimes it's one of those deals is like, dude, you don't need to put that out on Twitter.
Sometimes I think he should get that voice box.
Yeah.
Do you not like him?
Of course not. I mean, he's a buffoon, I think, but
I think I don't dislike him. I mean, there's things he does I don't like, but I think you're right. Like, there's something about it that's refreshing, even if he's wrong about things that bothers people. Hey, at least he's saying what he wants to say, and he's not giving me the answer that I know I'm going to get from every one of them.
And in the end, that's I think that's also why he won the race. That's why he became president, because even though people maybe didn't like a lot of stuff, they also realized, well, at least this is him, and the alternative is just the same old.
Just another guy telling me the same thing politely. It's frustrating.
What do you think of Andrew Yang?
He's another guy. I like some of his stuff, other stuff. I mean, dude, you just can't give people money. I mean,
damn it.
Sorry.
That's what I said. But Sam, who's very, very notoriously cheap, wants people to just hand him money.
I would like the money.
But I like the
$1,000
fact that he's a great entrepreneur and that sort of thing. It's just some of his financial and fiscal policies, economic policies. I'm like, dude, that's we don't need to be doing that. If you want to give people money, you need to cut taxes and cut spending so they can keep more of their own money.
Right.
Do you think our troops should be like in Saudi Arabia and all these other countries?
No, absolutely not. Our men and women, they should not be put in harm's way, except as a last resort. Afghanistan has been, some of the people that are serving in Afghanistan weren't alive when that war began.
Right.
And it needed to have, a definite goal, and when it's achieved, they need to come home. And we can't afford to be the world's policeman. And, we have, all in all, we spend about $1 trillion on national defense by the time you take everything into account. And that's way too much money. And again, my dad is a 21-year military veteran. He served in both Korea and Vietnam. And I think we're just doing our folks in the military a disservice when we send them places and keep them there forever. And they end up not necessarily protecting America, but being the world's policeman. That's not what they're there for.
Isn't it funny when Hillary says something like, you don't have to like Tulsi Gabbard, but to say she's a Russian agent when she actually served and went to war.
Right. And I have a lot of respect for Tulsi. She would, I think another one, I don't agree with her economic policies, but I do agree with her when she comes to what she says about foreign policy. And again, it's amazing that she's attacked for that. Right, and she is the one person who she serves in the military.
Her and I think Pete did too.
Yeah,
right?
So
it seems like a lot of these people actually served are very anti-war, right?
Well, because they understand and they've seen.
We've seen it.
They're not dadgum politicians.
We've seen it. Did you say we've seen it? Why did you say that?
Stolen dollar.
They're not politicians. They can actually relate to the men and women who are serving our country,
right?
And they respect that. And unfortunately, I think a lot of politicians give that lip service, but I don't think they have that level of actual inherent respect that our men and women in uniform do.
How do the people of you're mayor of Knox County, right? How do the people of Knox County feel when they see their mayor on Monday Night Raw? Because you're not there. Obviously, you're not wrestling kind of actively every week anymore, but just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I won the 24/7 championship.
Right.
I think
I've never seen de Blasio chokeslam anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think most people think it's cool because it highlights our area.
I mean, I think just having a mayor of your town that can still pull off wearing spandex is, most mayors can't do that.
That would cause me to vote for somebody else.
Exactly. There you go. Man. That's exactly right.
So wrestling fans have seen Kane start off as, Kane the Demon, the Undertaker's brother. Then you went into this monster, the voice box, the unmasking with half of a shaved head, very quickly into the full shaved head, which was, I'm sure, your call. I mean, into Kane, the kind of corporate Weasley guy, corporate Kane. Do you have a favorite era into Kane that now wrestles in a wig Kane?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite era of Kane to portray?
There are two. It's the original, the first one, the first incarnation in 1997 through 1998, and then also with Daniel Bryan as Team Hell No. And because those are about as far apart as you can get. You have one, the dark, mysterious character, and then the other one, the funny comic relief on the show.
They had the devil's favorite demon go to anger management classes to work out better as a tag team.
It was great. That's funny. But I think if you'd ask people in 19 like the year 2000 or a little earlier than that, that you're telling them Kane's going to be the comedic relief on the show,
right?
People would have looked at you like you're nuts.
Yeah.
So it was fulfilling for me to be able to pull that off, and then also hopefully I show people that I have some versatility as a performer.
Well, you've made a lot work in wrestling. You've made now a lot work in politics.
And let's plug his book signing too.
Yeah.
This is
the book is, by the way, Mayor Kane: My Life in Wrestling and Politics, of course, by Glenn Jacobs. And yeah, you're doing a signing.
Yep. Be at Bookends. It's over in Ridgewood.
It's a great place. Yeah,
man, it was cool. I was checking out their Facebook, and they've had some really cool people. Carly Simon did a book sign over there recently.
Yeah, I think Clinton did it.
Yeah.
It's an independent bookstore. It's really nice.
Carly Simon's cooler though, man.
That's
no, they've had some really cool people over there.
I just like the idea of Kane rocking out to Carly Simon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're so vain. Just sing.
Bookends in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Tonight, 6 p.m. You can go. You can get a signed copy of Mayor Kane. You can also get signed copies of Mayor Kane on Barnes & Noble's, Books A Million, and Premier Collectibles website. So if you're not in Ridgewood, you get your signed copies there. But if you're anywhere near Ridgewood, look, this guy's the mayor's now. You don't have that much time to be doing signings all over the place.
Yeah, that's right.
Take advantage. Get out there.
Go
Congrats
get
on
your
the book, man.
He'll take at least 5 to 10 minutes with each person and talk wrestling.
Wrestling, politics, the whole thing. It'll be great.
And I hope everybody does come out tonight. I'd love to talk with everyone. I don't know if I can give them 5 or 10 minutes, but hopefully I have a big turnout. But nevertheless, and I just hope that people enjoy the book.
Yeah,
and that's my main thing. Is just they're entertained, and maybe in some cases, maybe they come away with some tidbits of stuff that they didn't know before.
Well, the book is great. Book signed. It's fun to do it. You go, you get the book signed, you get to say at least hello to the person who you like.
And the book chronicles everything. Like, your career is so great because you're such a multi-generational performer that, like, I was talking to Sam Morril, who hasn't watched wrestling in forever, but he watched wrestling when he was a kid, and that meant that it could be Isaac Yankem, it could be Kane showing up in 97. It could
what's really wild, man, is that I haven't, I've done, like I said, the occasional bit on TV, but pretty much for 2 years I haven't been on TV much. I get recognized more now than I ever have, and a lot of it's because of the Attitude Era in WWE. But I'll tell you that the coolest thing ever is when someone comes up to me and just shakes my hand and says, "Thank you for years of entertainment." I mean, that's just the most awesome thing. That's so gratifying.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Well, congrats on everything, Mayor Glenn.
Good for you.
We'll see you next time you're in New York. Sam Morril, Cleveland this weekend.
Yeah, man.
Friday, Saturday, hilarities. I'll be at Caroline's 12, 13, 14, and that's it. Thanks for coming in.
Love it. Yeah, thank you, man. We'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.